Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you the news, or at least another live stream, because it has been a while due to the fact of random internet interruptions. It be like that. But anyways, it is currently 4:06 p.m. Friday, June 27th. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their nice, Friday starts of the weekend, ordering some food, catching up, just getting off work, whatnot, whatever, all that other type of good stuff. So, without much further ado, what we're going to do is get into the very first video dealing with ICE, because ICE be crazy directly out here, and we're going to see what specifically took place.
How do you feel about everything that's happening right now in this country with the deportations?
Hey, Pink.
You don't understand how this could happen. ¿Qué pensaba que iba a pasar cuando ganó Trump? What did you think was going to happen when Trump won? You're saying you believed the president when he said he was going to deport criminals.
Now, Elena is left behind with her daughter, 7-month-old son, and Ariel's 70-year-old grandmother, who has been a U.S. citizen for years. Together, facing a reality they never imagined.
Toda mi familia votó por Trump.
Your whole family voted for Trump. Lo apoyaba a Trump durante su campaña. Did you support him?
Yo estoy fuera.
You're outside of it. You can't vote. Pero te sientes decepcionada. Do you feel disappointed, deceived, engañada?
Me siento mal porque sé que ellos creían en él.
You feel bad because
mal.
The rest of them believed in him.
So let me get this straight. Let me, because that was a little bit short. So let me just rewind this real quick. So we have this woman with her child front and center on the screen. Her whole family supported Trump, whether they could vote or not, right? Whole family supported Trump. I don't understand how people did not foresee that the plans that were going to be implemented were going to inevitably affect and be used against them. I'm guessing that some of the people who I guess are citizens, legal, whatnot, whatever, I guess they thought that because they were legal and they were voting for Trump, that was going to cover the illegal side of their family. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, what is up, Brandon V World? What is up? What is up? What is up? Officer Haku said, here comes a new challenger. Of course, I can't put that one directly up. Can't have a post that one. A shout out for the $5 dono, brother. Much love, respect, and appreciation. We got In Night that says hi. We got Reef that says salute, family. Brandon B World said, really didn't see that coming. Yeah, I'm not sure how they didn't see that coming. Not sure at all. We got Vanita K. What is up? What is up? Said Sergi and Positive Powerful Family. Greetings and peace. They voted for Trump and let them deal with the consequences of their actions. That is bars. Yo, Hack, what is up? What is up? What is up? We got Brooklyn in the building. What is up? What is up? Sage said, no more birthright citizenship. Anchor baby's gone. DACA gone. Dreamers gone. Thought we was next. Lucas said, what's good with you, Seji? Not much. Just up here doing a live stream, a rare appearance at this moment in time, due to the effect of internet problems and such. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with these internet companies. They need to get their stuff straight. Yo, what is up, Sham? Sham was like, I am on time. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Pink said, hit that like button. We got Link said, and the FBA not coming to no one's rescue. Bars. So next we're going to go to this handy dandy next video from mainstream media and see what they have to say.
LA Tenants Union is calling for an eviction moratorium. They say thousands of immigrants will be unable to pay their bills come July 1st because avoiding detainment is taking priority over going to work.
This militarization of our community, this occupation of our community, this terrorizing of our communities have closed down businesses, have taken away street vendors, have separated families, and then people cannot pay their rent. They have barely the minimum to survive. We need the city to put a rent freeze. We need the city to protect tenants that are going to be suffering this 1st of July when they're going to be receiving 3-day notices because they cannot pay their rent.
The union is also calling for a citywide day of action and organization on July the 1st.
That is very, very interesting. Now, I want everybody to pay attention, right? Because I know that we have a memory lapse because of the pandemic, right? Because of everything that took place. It's almost like a fog, right? Some people don't even remember the pandemic even taking place, right? But from my recollection, because remember, Petridge Farm remembers, I remember that there was a point in time during the pandemic where people, ordinary American citizens, were being fired and laid off from their jobs because they did not follow the status quo, meaning WHO or the World Health Organization. They didn't follow what it is that the government was specifically saying and putting directly out. During that time, the government was going back and forth on what it is that people needed to do, didn't need to do, didn't need to do, needed to do, right? And then that was also during the time I was giving y'all the information about the Real ID and how they were trying to implement that. And if you follow the government's rules, hey, you're being a good boy and you will be allowed to go to stadiums. You can go out there and gamble. You can go to strip clubs. You can take flights and go to cruises, all this other type of stuff, right? But if you decided not to follow what the government told you, guess what? You had to suffer the penalties. And everybody who followed wanted to get on social media to let the government know that, hey, I follow the government rules and regulations. Everybody else that didn't follow this, they're anti-American, yada, 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 all the other type of good stuff, right? So just keep that in mind. Because the funniest thing is, right, when the pandemic took place and ordinary American citizens working 9-to-5s were losing their jobs, I didn't see these people out there talking about like, yeah, we need to come together. We need a moratorium. We need to come together as human beings against, the government and what it is that they minded their business. They minded their business. They did what it is that they needed to do, or they switched gears and did whatever and made sure that they made money. They made sure that their businesses and their communities and their people would stay directly in power. They would be able to still get money and all of these other types of things while ordinary Americans were out here suffering. There were tons of black people, black Americans out here losing jobs, not able to pay their rent, not able. And I want to also remind people during the time of the pandemic, rent was still going up. Every single year, people's leases were going up. Did I hear anybody in the Latin community speaking up during that time? Nope. They weren't saying a word. They were minding their business. They were sitting idly by. They didn't see anything. They were like Sandra Bullock in Bird Box. That boy, girl, boy. That's all it was. They didn't see it. So now I'm sitting here past all of this. And as a black American, so I'm supposed to care. I'm supposed to, side with them because of what's taking place when this was happening to everybody. I didn't see them trying to say nothing. I didn't see them out here holding signs and trying to protest and do this and do that. But like I said, when it's not affecting people, people don't care. Now, when things are actually affecting people, when people are in a pinch, now people want to get out there. They want to be vocal. They want to protest. They want to do this. They want to do that. But, you made the circumstance yourself. The craziest part is that a lot of these people want to get directly on the government for doing the job that the government said that they were going to do. Just imagine that. Just imagine that, right? Just imagine if the government sat up there and told the American people, hey, we're going to make your lives easier. We're going to make your lives better. We're going to actually give you more jobs starting right now. Within this 5 seconds of us talking, we're going to give you jobs and more money right now. Imagine if the American people all in unison got up and just got angry at the United States government for making their lives easier just within 5 seconds. Do you understand how stupid that would be? That wouldn't make any sense. This is what you wanted them to do, right? So within that exact same vein, all of these people up here talking about we need a moratorium, ICE is doing this and this is illegal. And what y'all voted for this? Y'all voted for this. You voted for this. You wanted Trump in office. You wanted the Republican Party directly here because you felt somewhere in your mental that you're white, honorary white. You felt that you belong directly to the white race. So because of that, you voted white. because you felt that it was right. And here we are. And it's crazy to me, like I said before, and as I've covered for like the last week or two or whatnot or whatever, of all of the videos where you got people in the Latin, Hispanic, Mexican, whatever community, Spanish speaking, wanting to come specifically only after Black Americans, telling us that, oh, you guys need to sit up there and help. You guys need to sit up there and care. You guys need to sit up there and protest. You guys need to do this. You guys need to do it. We don't need to do nothing. We don't need to do. You need to do everything. Matter of fact, call out the Asians. Call out Mario Lopez, John Leguizamo, Selena Gomez, any of your high elite Latins, Mexicans, whatnot, or whatever, Spanish speaking in it. Go after all of those people that got that money. Go after those people that's living directly out there in Hollywood, Satan's playground. Go after those people, but you're not going to sit up there and do that, right? Go after the people in your community that voted directly for Trump to get you up out of here, to pack you on up. I will vote for Donald Trump, right? Remember that song? Again, that is going to be a hit. I'm going to play that song for the rest of my life just as a reminder, because I feel that people need a reminder that whenever you make a mistake and you don't want to take up for that mistake, you don't want to have any acknowledgement for that, I'm going to be right there, just like Rorschach in the darkness, letting you know exactly what it is. I'm going to be there because, like I said, this is crazy. This is 100% crazy at this moment in time. Black people never got a moratorium. We never got a reprieve. We didn't get any type of help, whatnot, or whatever. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing her, hey, we need an eviction moratorium. We're not going to be able to pay our rent on July 1st. You should have thought about that before you voted. You should have did that. You should have did that. That's crazy. Wait a minute, I'm a little bit confused. Debbie, who are you calling a racist? I need you to clarify real quick on who you're trying to say the racist actually is. This is why I love doing live streams. I try to give people time. Try to give them time. Now, just a little bit confused. But like I said before, at the end of the day, if you voted specifically for this and you knew that your family or people that you know are illegal, this is on you. This directly is on you at the end of the day. Black Americans told you, hey, if you go this route, things are going to happen that you may not see coming. We see it because we've been through all of it. But again, everybody else that is a migrant, immigrant, whatnot, whatever, nobody ever wants to listen to Black people. Black people are the main people that you see at the end of the films, holding up the sign on the corner. The end is near. The end is near. God is coming back. Rah, rah, rah. Ringing the bell. And everybody just walks past. Nobody listens. And then you'll see that day and time that you'll just see the sign sitting on the corner and that bell on the floor, and Black people ain't ringing and trying to yell no more. And everything is just going to hit. And everybody's like, oh my God, I can't, what's going on? Like how come nobody told us? How come nobody warned us? We did. You didn't listen. So now you got to suffer the consequences. And it's not just going to be the Latin community that's going to suffer the consequences. It's going to be everybody. It's going to be everybody. That's the way that it has to work. Everybody has to suffer in order to learn a very heavy lesson. Everybody has to lose in order to learn to actually pay attention when people are trying to give you wise words. That's the way that it works. But it be like that. 100%. People still don't want to listen. So, hey. Anyways, let's go to a great song that everybody knows, but we got some ad-libs in there. So a little bit better, right? So shout out to this person who made this.
For Donald Trump, even though he keep deporting y'all, I will vote.
Hey.
For Donald Trump, he been snatching all y'all kids from y'all. I will vote.
Hey.
For Donald Trump, he got white people kidnapping y'all.
Like I said, let me just replay that one more time because I feel like this is the best remix that they got so far. Let me just do this one more time.
I will vote.
Hey.
For Donald Trump, even though he keep deporting y'all, I will vote. He been snatching all y'all kids from y'all. For the Donald Trump. He got white people kidnapping y'all.
Crazy work. Diabolical in nature. Just think about that. You voted for a white man that is snatching you up from what you said is stolen land, which you sold, to put you right back to from whence you came. And you're mad about it, but you voted for it. That's crazy. Like I said, never at any point in time in history have I ever seen something like this take place up until this moment. And people are mad about their own decisions. And they want to blame everybody else but themselves. Isn't there a terminology that people set up there used to tell black people, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and stop being a victim? That's how I'm looking at this. I need a lot of them to pull themselves up by their bootstraps real tight, and to stop being victims. Because you did this to yourself. This is the same exact talk that white people have been giving to black people for the longest time possible. But oddly enough, I don't see black people or anybody else giving this exact same talk technically to these groups of people. This needs to happen. This is what needs to happen on a lot of TikTok videos, a lot of YouTube videos, all of this other type of stuff. You need to give the exact same talk that we receive to everybody else. Because like I said, for me at this moment in time, I don't have sympathy. For the longest time possible, black people been in this country, and we've talked about the plight. We've talked about the situations. We've had voiced our complaints. We've voted. We've done this legislation. We've tried to go about this all the right ways. And you know what everybody said, including the Latin community? Stop crying. Stop trying to be victims. Nobody's holding you down. Nobody's oppressing you. And then all to turn around and look at the white man sitting up there doing what? Oppressing the Hispanics. Oops. Color me surprised. Color me surprised. Look at that. Woo, it's diabolical out here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is crazy. It is crazy. It's crazy. Now, this is what I want people to also understand, because I see somebody doing the whole Kamala and Trump Kamala type of thing. America's always been at war. If you actually believe at any point in time that if Kamala was in office that we would not have had some type of issue, some type of war, you are sorely mistaken. The United States thrives off of war. It thrives off of debt. So I keep trying to tell people, keep trying to do with this Democrat, Republican, Democrat. It's both a part of the exact same coin. They work for the exact same government. I don't understand why people think that the Democrats are on, 100% one side of a whole another government that's an island, and then Republicans are on a whole other side of another island. And then, we got this one little strip where people come together and make these bipartisan things. Come on now. Like I said before, the conditioning that people are raised in is crazy, and it's telling. To really think that whichever side that you vote for is really, that side, that they're really going to do the best for you. At no point in time, I'm going to repeat this again, at no point in time has the United States government ever 100% did for the people. They just haven't, and they're never going to do that. This is why rent, this is why egg, this is why milk, this is why pork, this is why cheese, butter, everything is going directly up in this country. And every ordinary person working a 9 to 5, got a college degree, non-college degree, whatnot, whatever, is sitting up here suffering. This is why people can barely afford to buy things in order to make a dinner during the week. This is why people have to opt, instead of going to the market, oh, I'm about to sit up there and hit up McDonald's or Wendy's and get a 5 for $5, for the family and something. Like, people not even paying attention. But this is happening by the people that you voted for in office. It doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. They're laughing at you at the end of the day. They're getting money, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, in some instances, millions of dollars at the end of the year, unexplainably. But yet, these are the people that you voted for that's supposed to have the best interest for you. Okay. And you're a hardcore Democrat, hardcore Republican. Okay. You got it. You 100% got it. You said, somebody said, name the war that we are currently at. We're in the spiritual war. So what do you want a specific name for that, or how do you want that to work? Because I can go through by social media by the stuff that is present, because I'm pretty sure I take in more social media than you do. I could go by the media that they have in the news. I can go by the stuff that they give you in commercials. I can go by the stuff that they put in movies and books and cartoons for kids. Like I said, all of the stuff I've covered before. So what specifically are you looking for? Like I said, it makes no sense for me to actually, get that deep directly into it, like I said before. Because if I happen to do a video about it, people ain't really gonna listen or watch that, pay attention to it. Stat wise, historically speaking, looking at the analytics from, over what, 5 to 6 years. And it's crazy to me that people sit up there and ask me like name a war, like tell us where it is that we currently are. And oh, you said there's no such thing as a spiritual war. No problem. Okay, that's your belief. Let me just highlight that. Let me let people know who I'm talking to, right? Like, this is the person right here when I clearly stated that there is a spiritual war going on. Like I said, this is why I tend not to speak on certain things, because like I said, hey, if people are non-religious or whatnot or whatever, you got your own belief, agnostic, whatever you want to sit up there and call yourself, that's cool, no problem. Like I said, I ain't gonna push nothing. Just like when I sit up there and say, when Black Americans want to complain about certain things, we need to stop pushing certain issues and let everything fall where it is. Stop going out here and try to save people. Stop going out here trying to body block. Stop going out here and trying to protect. Stop going out here and trying to befriend people. Let everything fall where it may. Everybody's going to be affected. So when everybody's affected, that's when everybody wants to start speaking up and marching. Let them sit up there and take the reins on that. Black people, stand down and relax. Take a nice knee, take a reprieve. Like I said, you got a lot of people out here that are on their own type of thing. I don't got no problem with that. That's cool. I mean, I know that you're an atheist. I already knew that. As soon as you said that there's no spiritual world, like I said, that's cool. You know, like I said, people are free to believe what it is that they want to sit up there and believe. Right? Just like I have a perception of what I can clearly see when it deals with children's videos, such as the cartoons. Because like I said, I take in all forms of media. Because unlike most parents directly out here, I don't care if you're, religious. I don't care if you're an atheist. But if you think for a second that the United States government isn't performing some type of psychological warfare, because that's another type of warfare, but I'm pretty sure that you're going to say that that doesn't exist too, because a lot of people out here think that the government has the best interest for the people. But anyways, besides that, there's psychological warfare going on when it deals with messages and programmings that are being placed inside of video games, inside of music, inside of advertisement, inside of cartoons and commercials, all of which are curated and pointed specifically towards children, towards minors whose brains are not actually conditioned, right, in order to actually phase off a lot of the nonsense that is coming directly through. Like, they're getting bombarded with 40 to 50,000 different advertisements. But like I said, for a lot of y'all out there, y'all don't actually realize that. And this is why I sat up there and try to tell a lot of parents out there, like, hey, you might want to manage the type of screen time and different things like that that you have your kids directly into, because just like how you're trying to condition and program your kids within your home, also within your home, you have a whole nother set of adults that are programming and conditioning your kids by way of that tablet, right? By way of the television and cable, if they're happening to watch that, by way of the movies that you allow them access to, by way of the cell phone that you allow them to be able to use for about 7, 8, 9, 10 hours out of the day. And not to mention the cartoons and everything else, such as, well, going past that, you also got the internet, which is the biggest one. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of parents don't monitor and track what it is that their kids are directly into. I know that for a fact. Also, going back, let me put you back to a timeline of, let's say, like 2007, right? Back when you had Saturday morning cartoons and all of that other type of stuff, right? There was a point in time, there was a computer game called Wizard, I think Wizard Lane or Wizard 101. It was some type of game. It was on PC. One day I had a laptop. I was directly, it was during the days of watching, what was it, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Power Rangers, something like that, Saturday morning, right? Cool. So I set up to open up the laptop, Toshiba during the time, or it might have been HP, whichever. And I go directly to like the website, put in my email, do. And, I'm in there and I look directly in the chat, for about 5 minutes, seeing what everybody conversating about. Right. Because I'm expecting, people of a certain age. Right. And color me surprised and shocked when I ended up seeing a guy talking about, like, yeah, I'm, 45 years old and I've been playing this game for such and such amount of time. And this is what I happen to tell a lot of parents, that I know that y'all don't monitor and watch y'all kids when they play these games. Because you literally got grown adults on here, grown men on here, on these games, in these chat rooms, with your 8-year-olds, with your 12-year-olds, sitting up there having conversations and talking. So like I said, when I happen to mention stuff, I know what I'm talking about, because I've literally witnessed and seen these things transpire and take place. And I know for a second, I know for a fact that when it deals with these kids typing online, their parents aren't right there watching every single thing that they're typing and watching the replies. I know this for a fact. But like I said before, I tend to stop doing a lot of those videos because people tend not to pay attention. People, that type of deal. Just like how you got a lot of people out here that are, religious or non-religious. People tend to pay attention to whatever it is that they want to pay attention. But the only time that people really want to listen is when it really solely affects them. That's when it hits home. That's when everybody want to wake up. That's when everybody want to start looking at everybody as the same. So like I said, everything has to fall. Everything has to fall at the end of the day. Just saying. But it'd be like that. But what you gonna do? But anyways, let's continue directly on to the next video, and this one is a good one. It's a good one.
People, man, say, man, y'all check this out. I get on TikTok, right, and that's all I hear. It's about OT and what OT said, man. Say, y'all check it out, man. Ain't nobody gonna stop us down here in Texas the way we talk. I'm sorry, man. That's the way we was raised. And let me go ahead and clarify it right quick. It ain't the fact that we were raised around black people, that we eat with black people, that we live with black people. Now, man, that's just the way we were raised to talk, man. That's just our slang down here in H-Town, baby. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I got black homies? Hell yeah, those my niggas. Do I got white people that I call nigga? Hell yeah, those my niggas. Mexican cats, those my niggas, man. That's just the way we talk. It ain't no racist slang that we trying to be racist about it. That's just the way we talk down here, man. So y'all need to clarify some of the shit y'all are saying, because look, y'all black people that I'm hearing say nigga, y'all not saying it with no ER, because that's the disrespectful way to say it. You feel me? We don't say it like that. Y'all don't say it like that. And did we steal that word from y'all, man? Matter of fact, I don't even know why y'all saying we stole that word from y'all, man. I mean, shit, who's saying that we stole that from y'all? You feel me? Now, that's just the way we were raised up, and the words that we use down here in H-Town, man. So all that, we stole that word from y'all. That's only y'all word. If that's the case, use the word with the ER. That's y'all motherfucking word. Y'all want to get technical about it. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what y'all are trying to say when y'all say it. That's not what we trying to say when we say it. So why don't y'all get off that racist shit already? Because we ain't racist. Now that wetback, beaner, all that bullshit y'all are saying, that's some racist shit. Do I give a fuck about those words? Hell nah, man. I don't give a damn. I'm Texas, baby. H-Town certified, born and raised, baby. I ain't no goddamn wetback. Do I give a damn about that word? Hell no, I don't give a damn about that word. My daddy was a wetback, and I still don't give a damn about that word. Y'all just need to quit tripping, man. Quit being so racist, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something. If y'all hate that word so much, why y'all say it? Now, let me tell you the kind of respect that...
Hold on. Nah. How did I know? How did I know that foolishness? Because I want y'all to understand, when I happen to put together some of these videos for y'all, I try not to watch all of them, because I want to be in the exact same mind frame, thought process that y'all are in. I knew at a certain point in time that this fool was going to sit up here and say, if the word is so bad, why do y'all say it? We can say it because we can sit up there and say it. Notice how he said all of those words. For me, I don't see I don't see a version of me actually repeating and saying those words, because that's the way that I was raised. I would never sit up there and hear somebody else say something of another culture, about themselves and decide to sit up there and repeat it. Again, that's not how I was raised. A lot of black people in the black community, I'm sorry, let me reframe. A lot of black Americans in the black community were raised that exact same way. We're not about to come out of the side of our necks and decide to call somebody some other type of like verbiage or whatnot or whatever. We're not raised like that, right? We're not raised like savages. That's the best way I can sit up there and put it. And the craziest part is this is the type of reasoning that a lot of folks have where they're like, oh, but if it's so bad, why do black people? Because we can say it. Because we can say, how about this? How about this, right? Let me put it very blatantly, very obvious for anybody out here, no matter the race, to understand. If you are a person of another race and you happen to hear your mother, your sister, your aunt, or your grandmother refer to themselves as a bitch, as a whore, I want you to go right back behind them and call them that to their face and let me know how that conversation goes. Try that one out. For anybody out here, any given moment in time, I want you to sit up there and do that. Let me know how that conversation, let me know if your head don't get knocked off. Let me know. Because I can promise you beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's not going to go the way that you think that it's going to go. So if you know that it's not going to work in that context, in that situation like that, then why would you decide to follow behind black people and be like, oh, I'm about to sit up there and use this word too because they used it? You're not about to sit up there. You're not about to do it. You're not about to do it. Like I said, even if you're a father and you heard your daughter call herself a bitch, call herself directly out of her name, you're not going to sit up there as an example and go right behind her and sit up there and say it, because you know, irregardless on how it is that you meant that, or you're trying to make that a teaching lesson, it's just not going to go well. It's not going to go well. So like I said, again, it's amazing how people want to make justifications for using words that they know they shouldn't be using. That's crazy. Like I said, Black American all day long. And I've heard people refer to it and use the word multiple times. You can ask anybody that knows me. There's been a rare few times that I'll actually just drop it casually, because normally I don't. Normally I don't. You might see me directly on a live stream, might be angry. I'll sit up there and say it. Sometimes randomly, maybe in an Xbox Live party, just to be funny. Sit up there and say it. Other than that, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to really catch me sitting up there saying it. And the amount of times, as the previous video that I actually gave y'all on this channel, there was one, what was it? Mexican dude. He was dropping it like no tomorrow. You would have thought he was a kid that just learned how to cuss. I'm like, I'm black all day long. I ain't never in my life, just in one sitting, I'm just sitting up there just repeatedly just saying, I'm like, you look stupid. I'm like, you look 1,000% stupid. But then listening to this clown here is like, oh, that's just how we raise. That's just how we talk. Really? Really? That's just born in you. As soon as the two cells came together and formulated you, that was just in your DNA. That's what you're telling me. Come on now. Come on now. The amount of fabrications, the amount of fabrications that people come up with just to justify anything is crazy. The excuse is wild. But anyways, let's keep going.
I had, if I'm around a black person that hates that word with all his soul, man, do you think I'm going to talk to him even in the slang way that I say it? Hell nah, I ain't, because I'm going to respect that man, because he won't even say it himself. But all y'all cats out here that are saying it, almost every word that comes out your mouth, how am I supposed to respect that? You know what I'm saying? The people that hate that word are the people that are deeply into the history from back in the day. You won't even hear them say it. You feel me? Y'all need to get with y'all history, man, and quit tripping and quit thinking that we trying to be racist about it, because we ain't, man. That's just the way we talk, man. If anybody's being racist and is coming out about being racist, it's all y'all out-of-state people, man. I don't know how y'all living where y'all at, but down here in H-Town in Texas, man, we ain't racist like that, man. All of our niggas, all of our partners, that's just the way we talk, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the way we talk. And ain't nobody gonna stop it. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Y'all need to get off that gas already, man. Quit tripping, man. For reals. Much love to all the black people, man. Much love to everybody who right now ain't tripping about that shit, because y'all know when we say it or how we meaning it. You know what I'm saying? If I fuck with you and you black and we hear a person call you the N-word with the ER, guess what? We gonna look at each other like, what the fuck he just say? And you know what's happening next. And yes, I'm gonna get on them just like you gonna get on them, because that's the kind of love we got down here, baby. So y'all get off that little hatred shit in your heart and quit being so ugly, man. Much love, baby. H-Town certified. Y'all know how we do it.
Right. So we heard that from an H-Town certified person, right? He wanted to, start talking about some history and all that, the type of stuff, and people got a problem with it. And this is the thing I hear about from a lot of Hispanics directly out there, that, oh, the black people got a problem with it. Y'all really the ones that's racist. Y'all sound just like white folks. White folks been really trying to put that branding of being racist on black people for the longest time possible, and it's just been sliding off. You ever seen, like a duck get wet during, when it's raining? I haven't either. That's pretty much how racism, or the terminology, the branding, affects black people. It rolls directly off. But like I said, people keep trying, and they're following the footsteps directly after white people trying to do it. They think that it's going to stick a little bit more because they might have a little bit more melanin, a little bit of a tan, a little bit more, and it's not. It's not. But let's just but see, this is the beautiful part to anybody who's directly in this live stream that may be Hispanic, Spanish speaking, whatnot, or whatever, right? And you guys want to find a justification for saying the N-word. I want to hear the justification for all intents and purposes, this white male calling y'all slaves. Right? So let's just hear this real quick.
I was a Trump supporter. I don't know how long I can keep doing this. I have a construction company, and not a fucking thing is getting done. This is what I get. This is what I fucking get. Nothing but white boys. It takes 4 days to do a one-day job. I might have fucked up. You're welcome for paying taxes, number one. Number two, my Hispanics made anywhere from $25 to $55 an hour.
Let me go back to that. What did he say? Did he say my Hispanics?
I might have fucked
Sounds
up.
like my slave.
You're welcome for
sounds
paying
familiar.
taxes, number one. Number two, my Hispanics made anywhere from $25 to $55 an hour. So I don't know what part of that is exploiting somebody.
That white boy got on TikTok was like, my Hispanics. Ooh, boy. And let me tell you, I promise you, at no moment in time will you ever hear any Hispanics out there getting angry or mad or frustrated about this. Because that's crazy. That's crazy. Because I can replace that with them saying my blacks. That sounds vastly racist. That's like, what do you even mean by that? what does that even my blacks? What does that even mean? But like I said, black people were different. We got a whole different history, and everything like that. Like I said, we got a different history from everybody else. So this might be a term of endearment directly for Hispanic, people directly out there, for Spanish speaking people. This might be a term of endearment. So like I said, maybe, you know what? Let me back away, because I'm supposed to be taking a reprieve. I'm supposed to be taking a knee. I shouldn't be, in a sense, trying to, find something wrong, directly with this. But like I said before, I'm just waiting for Hispanics out there to call out white boys talking like this, because that is crazy. That's not, this man said my Hispanics. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me just see if I can rewind that.
I might have fucked up. You're welcome for paying taxes, number one. Number two, my Hispanic.
Man, that's crazy. I'm going to have to make that as a thumbnail. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, let me just snapshot that because I don't want to forget. My Hispanics. That'll be a great thumbnail. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. I love that. That is beautiful. Perfect picture. White boy saying my Hispanics. Shout out to the Hispanics out there. Cause y'all ain't gonna have no energy for these white boys talking like this when they deal with y'all. Y'all ain't gonna have the energy. Anyways, let's go to the next video.
No mames, agarraron a mi hermano.
Maybe if people follow the laws and the rules, then because I could have sworn that's what people said during all of the police protests. A lot of Hispanics were online talking, siding with white folks and saying all types of racist rhetoric and this, that, and the third, right rhetoric and yada, yada, yada. Maybe if people would actually follow the laws, the rules, the regulations of the land, things like this wouldn't happen. Maybe if you would actually, if ICE tells you to show your ID, maybe if you actually show your ID, maybe things like this would not actually take place where one of your family members is getting arrested and you're hyperventilating inside of the house in safety, just watching as if this is Jurassic Park. This is crazy. That man up there breathing through the phone as if it's a horror film, as if the killer is directly right outside the room. I'm like, we can hear that you're there. You're next, buddy. It's like, yo, it's crazy. It's diabolical. Well. Crazy work, man. Crazy work. It could be different out here. It could very much be different if only people would have listened to Black Americans. If only people would have listened. I guess a lot of their families wouldn't be broken up, deported, placed elsewhere. I guess a lot of people would not be in fear of going to the market, going directly to their jobs, trying to provide for their families. I guess a lot of people would be able to afford rent when July 1st comes around. If only they would have at least just bent an ear and listened to Black Americans. But like I said, nobody ever wants to listen to Black people up until it's too late, and it's too late. So this is where we are. Let's keep going.
Why are you doing this? 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 Why are you doing this?
You want to be arrested as well? You'll be under arrested.
Yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen. Arrest me.
Don't get closer. Stay there. Stay there. Stay back.
Let him go.
Stay there. Stay back.
She's bad.
Stay there.
Let her go. Let her go.
You don't stay there, you're going to be arrested for
interference. She's sick. She's sick.
You're going to be arrested for interference.
She's sick. I'm here. She's sick.
Okay, stay there.
She's bad. Call 911. Call 911. She's bad. She has a problem. My God, you're... Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? They came from persecution. From dictatorship. I'm from Iran. I'm from Iran. You're so cruel. So cruel. Have you read the news? Have you read the news? I was in prison for my faith. They are there in Iran. They are from Iran. You know, we flee because of our faith. Can you take me with them? They need me.
No, sir.
They need me.
You can stay there and you can record, but you can't go with us, okay?
مرجان اوکی میشه. اوکی میشه مرجان جان. I know you're doing your job. But my heart is just... Seriously, you all guys came for one person?
What is her name?
Marjan. Seriously. Only 2 people is enough. What's this? What's this? It's the army here.
That's security, sir.
It's the army. 2 people. Have you read the news? What's happening in Iran? For women?
Well, I'm just going to simply state, if people would just clearly follow what ICE is saying and calmly just come directly with them, you wouldn't have videos like this. Realistically, I feel like the guy was screaming more than the woman was. I'm not sure what the woman is specifically going through. But again, I just want to state that when it deals with the United States, nobody wants to listen to black people. When it deals with black Americans trying to give people, some ideas, some theories, some type of facts, some type of history, lay down some groundwork, so that people can foresee, some years in the future. Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to listen. And that deals with everybody. Nobody wants to listen up until it's too late. And again, like I said before, we're at the point of being too late. So now everybody has to suffer and everybody has to deal with the consequences. It's crazy work. Crazy work. But let's continue.
It's a ghost town here today at my factory in East LA because people are scared to come to work. Very sad. Very, very sad. All this work to be done. Nobody here to do it.
The craziest thing is I'm looking at how that place looks. It looks like a raggedy basement, right?
It's a ghost town here today.
The first part of it looks all right. The walls are just looking like, what is going on? This is like a dungeon or something like that. And you just set up a shop. You didn't do nothing with the floors. You didn't even just try to gloss the floors or something. The walls look crazy. And then the back room, I don't even know what's going on there. That's looking all types of crazy. Is anything back there even sanitary? I'm like, what specifically are you making? That's what I need to know. Are there any type of OSHA violations at this moment in time? Because I feel like there's several. Just looking directly through there. But she's talking about she don't have nobody to hire her to work. Why don't you're in LA. Why don't you get some of the homeless off the streets and you teach them, right? Which is then enabling them to have a certain type of skill set so then they can work for you. They can replace the illegal immigrants that were there who ain't showing up. Why don't you do that? Notice how a lot of these people that are complaining about them losing out on workers don't want to hire American people. I want everybody to pay attention to that. And I'm seeing a lot of white folks. And that begs the question, who did these white people vote for? The one white boy up there who said, my Hispanics, again, a term of endearment, a term of love and value and respect, my Hispanics, he said that he messed up by voting for Trump, right? That was a white male that said that. Because it's messing with his bottom line. It's messing with his money. I wonder who this white woman voted for. Because usually if a white man votes a certain way, 9 times out of 10, the white woman is going to follow, right? Because that is the head, right? Because I find it very hilarious that within the video, she didn't really say anything about Trump or anything about voting, which leads me to think that she voted for Trump. But in order not to catch backlash or for people to say, we told you so, she just said oh, look at what's happening here with ICE. They scared off my workers. Nobody wants to come in for work and we got a whole bunch of stuff to do. Well, this is when, my dear, you as a business owner are supposed to have the skill set where you come in and start working. it seems that you as a white woman is pretty lazy. You own a business, but you seemingly don't have the skill set in order to start working those machines so that you can start to have business moving just even a little bit for a few orders. That's some crazy work to be an owner and not really have a skill set. Because realistically, I would have pictured her as an owner showing that, okay, ICE did affect my business, but let me show you how to actually do this. This could have been like some type of a teaching moment or whatnot, but that's not what took place. It's this woe is me. Look what's going on with me. Look what's happening with me. Notice how this white woman does not care about the workers. She don't care about the families broken up, torn apart, all this other type of stuff. And for the Hispanics out there, y'all sided with these people? You voted along with these people? We tried to tell y'all that they saw you as cheap labor. They're looking at you as slaves, new slaves. Y'all ain't want to listen. You got a white man, my Hispanics, they're getting paid well. Ooh, boy. Oh my goodness. Like I said, this is priceless. This is priceless. This is diabolical. She better get the sewing. Let me tell you that. Maria and Lisa and them, they out of here. And there's no uno momento por favor. They are out. They're gonzo. It's a done data. Let's go to the next video.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
You don't have to answer.
What's your reaction to being detained?
This is ICE in New York.
Spanish from the immigration attorney? No. All right, you're being detained.
Let me just freeze. Let me just go back real quick because I just want to highlight something real quick, right? I promise you somebody somewhere online, I kid you not, is typing up the paperwork to say that, oh, look at this Black American that is getting deported by. I promise you somebody somewhere, and this is why I try to tell people to pay attention to the videos or try to find the whole videos, information, all this. I promise you somebody somewhere is going to try to paint this as a picture of a Black American male getting deported by ICE. I promise you. Because I didn't seen this before and I had to sit up there and cover those stories and give people the full information because it ended up coming out that the people that they were trying to paint as Black Americans were Jamaicans. They were from elsewhere. So again, for Black people, this is why you got to pay attention because you got a lot of these social media content creators out here. They will lie to you blatantly. They will leave a lot of important details out on purpose because that is what sells. Because the whole thing is to get your blood pressure up. The whole thing is to get the whole thing of anxiety and fear and all this other type of stuff. You gotta, like I said, this is why I told people years ago. It's like, yo, you gotta look at a lot of content with lack of emotions. You gotta really fixate and focus on it with as much logic as you can muster, so that you don't get caught up in the Harry Potter sorcery that they're trying to sit up there and wrap you in. Right? Well, let's continue.
All right, you're being detained. Así que, quiero que me puse. Okay? Así que, sorry. Para sus derechos.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let him
For a brief second, I thought that was a white dude that got caught up. for a brief second, let me tell you something. I thought that was a white boy that got caught up. Let me tell you. Let's continue. That boy running, he got the Nikes on. He's running into a spot real quick.
Just doing my job. Sorry, guys.
Okay, está bien. No voy a poner agresivo ni nada.
I don't know what it is. I know they got the Powerball thing directly on the side. So yeah, that boy, it was running up in there. Yeah, I guess it was a car wash. Look, the garage. I guess I don't know. So it looked like some type of convenience store slash car wash. So it might have been a combination of both because they had an inside where you can play, lotto and all that. I don't know many car washes where you can do that. So, I'm guessing this is out there in LA somewhere where they got, combinations of a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, people, man, like I said, I don't know what to tell people. I don't know what to tell people. You better hide your kids, hide your husbands and your wives because they're coming after everybody out here. Shout out to Antoine Dotson. Hey, coming after everybody out here. Let me tell you. Somebody said it must be Vegas. I mean, possibly. I don't know. Let me tell you. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing that because, looking at everything taking place, that, probably over there in LA somewhere, whatnot or whatever. Somebody said, this is hot. I need my popcorn. And the funny part is I got some popcorn downstairs, but I ain't make it. I do it the old school way. I got the kernels, get the pot, the oil and butter and whatnot, and a little bit of salt, do that whole deal. But yeah, I ain't even making nothing for this one. Let me tell you. People gotta figure it out, man. People gotta really figure it out. And I don't know what people are going to sit up there and do, but they better figure it out. Only thing I can tell them is like they always will tell us during these protests: don't resist. Follow law-abiding commands by oath officers. That's the best information I got for you. But the same thing everybody told black people to do, I'm telling everybody else to do the exact same. That's all I got for you. That's all I got. Let's continue.
Viewers, and this is probably the most dramatic shot that we have. Two workers roping down a rooftop to get away from federal agents. And we also obtained more footage showing two people being escorted by law enforcement. This $137 million project is publicly funded, meaning taxpayer money is paying for this. In all, 37 people were arrested today. And in addition to federal agents, Orange Beach PD, Gulf Shores PD, Foley PD, and the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office took part in the operation. When I reached out to the city of Gulf Shores and the Gulf Shores City School System, and both said they did not know the raids happened until I called him. Now here's a look at that statement from the school system and the city. It says the city of Gulf Shores and Gulf Shores City Schools are aware that a federal immigration inspection was conducted at the construction site of the new Gulf Shores High School. The construction site is under the complete control of the general contractor, and no city or school employees were present at the time of the inspection. We encourage inquiries for any further information regarding this inspection to be directed to the parties involved. And we also reached out to the project's general contractor, Rayburn General Contractors, and they told me, quote, Rayburn General Contractors is aware of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement raid that occurred at the new Gulf Shores High School construction site on Tuesday, June 24th. RGC is fully cooperating with all authorities investigating this matter. We have no further comment at
Some crazy work. Them boys sitting up there scaling buildings like Spider-Man. He just throwing down webs. Just trying to out there like Batman and Robin, dynamic duo, trying to sit up there and stop the Joker and his henchmen from getting inside of a bank. Yeah, it's crazy work out here. I ain't never think that I would see a day of people trying to scale across buildings, trying to escape ICE law enforcement. I ain't never seen this before. That's crazy. And the funny thing is, I done covered some videos dealing with prison breaks, and I ain't see them scaling the walls. Woo! It must be hot out there. Let me tell you. There is also a such thing as hot ice, just in case people didn't know. There is such thing as hot ice. But yeah, it's it's stuff out here. It is it's kind of tough. Now we do have some other videos here. I'm just trying to make sure. Let me see. Okay, that was number 7. Oh yeah. I gotta put both of them up there. Okay, so let me get this one. Oh, give me a So I gotta wait for it to actually show up for you guys. Okay. So you guys should be able to see this video of this girl directly up here, for all intents and purposes, white Hispanic. And you're going to hear her state her feelings about immigration and everything that is taking place. So let's just take a listen from somebody of their community.
As a second generation American whose grandparents immigrated to the US legally, y'all need to shut the f up about deportation. It's really not that hard to understand that if you do something illegal, you're going to suffer the consequences. And I don't want to hear any of this. Illegal immigrants pay this much in taxes. Illegal immigrants make up this much of the workforce. So do serial killers. So do rapists. So do thieves. Should we just not arrest them because they contribute to society in some way? No, that's not how it works. You do something illegal, you pay for the consequences of your actions. If you are an illegal immigrant, you can self-report and get completely free transportation, you and your whole family, back to your home country. And a lot of other countries don't have that. Go to Russia and try that. You'll be locked up for 50 years, and you'll probably be tortured and eventually killed. And every single country practices deportation. It's just a fact. But somehow, people in America are the only people complaining about this. Right now, if I wanted to try to go to Canada, France, Italy, Belgium, anywhere, if I tried to go there, no passport, no visas, no paper, and just try to start living there and working there, guess what? I would get deported too, because that's illegal. And then people will say, oh, well, people are getting separated from their families. People are getting taken right in front of their kids. Guess what? If I robbed a bank and didn't turn myself in, and I'm sitting at a diner with my whole family, the police don't give up. They're going to take me. If you do something illegal, that's just what's going to happen. And then I hear people say, oh, well, they've been here for years. They've been here for 10 years working hard in the U.S. So you're telling me that they've been here for 10 years and have still not taken the steps to become a legal citizen. That sounds like a them problem. Honestly, there is no excuse. There is no excuse. People are so brainwashed that they genuinely want people in our country who have no background checks, no screening. They could be a cartel member for all we know. And they want American taxpayers to provide for them. That's exactly what they want. Again, I come from an immigrant family who worked hard to get here. And it is disrespectful that people think they can just skip the line. People think they're that important that they get to come the easier way. They get to skip the line. That's not how it works. Follow the law and you'll be fine. Immigrants are fine. Illegal immigrants, sorry, you're out of luck.
She was on high heat. Everything she stated. Everything. And she comes from a immigrant. She stated her people are legal immigrants. They did it the right way. They waited in line. They waited their turn. They did whatever it is that the United States government told them to sit up there and do. And they became legal immigrants. They became citizens of the United States. Like I said, and I told people before, I don't have a problem with people doing it the right way. I have a problem with cheaters. I have a problem when people feel as though that they can cut in line in front of other people who are doing the necessary paperwork, the necessary waiting. They're going to, whatever court dates or whatever it is that they got to sit up there and do. They're learning about the United States and the Pledge of Allegiance. Like I said, when people are doing it the right way, I have no problem. I have a problem when you decide that you want to cheat your way in here. And a lot of people always want to talk about, oh, Hispanics, like we're always together, and we love one another. We're such homogenous. And no, you're not. If you're sitting up there cheating your brethren, if you're cutting in front of line, because like she said before, you think that you're better. You think that you are more important. So you want to cut in front of one of your brothers or your sisters so that you can hurry up and get yourself in there. Mind you, they didn't have to sit up there and wait 5 years just to get their spot in line, just to, be there to be like, yo, you are now United States. Like I said, that's crazy. So all of your brethren and family waiting in line, you cut in front of them, and all to do what? Now the United States government is giving you thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. Now you're getting hotel vouchers. Now the United States is sitting up there in certain states, they're building you specific apartments for illegal immigrants. Now you got places like Eric Adams in New York sitting up there giving y'all thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars, no limit on what you can spend it on. While everybody else waiting in line is not getting that. While even average everyday American citizens who are either working or may just, fall on hard times are not even getting that. That's some crazy work. And I've seen this from Florida. I've seen this in areas talking about, because I gave y'all the story in Florida where it dealt with the DMV down there. And you had people working inside and giving illegal immigrants CDLs. They weren't taking classes. They didn't do any type of paperwork. There was no type of background check, no nothing. They were getting a handed license so that they can go out there and make tens of thousands of dollars. But yet you got average everyday Americans who have the necessary certification not getting that type of quote unquote handout, not getting that type of leg up. This is what I be talking about. This is what a lot of other people are talking about. How you got people out here who cheat the system and then they receive unfair advantages for cheating. The United States government rewards them for cheating. That's crazy. And you expect people not to feel the type of way? You expect people not to be mad about this? Yeah, people are mad. People are irate. Because you got too many people who are going by the rules of the system and they're still not getting their just due. But you got other people coming directly in here, cutting in line, cheating and doing everything. And then they're parading around that they're cheating like, hey, I'm an illegal immigrant. Yeah, Viva la Mexico, all this other type of stuff. Yeah, I'm illegal. We're in here. You can't do nothing about it. It's slap in the face, slap in the face, slap in the face, slap in the face after slap in the face. Not to mention that even during the Biden administration, what was taking place? You had all of these provisions. You had all of these protections for illegal immigrants. You had this whole safety net, this whole support system for illegal immigrants. But yet, what safety and support net did we have for ordinary, everyday Americans with families? You went to college, and now you got what, 20, 30, 50, 100K in debt. You're putting your kids in college. Now they got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K directly in debt. And then y'all just now potentially getting into whatever it is, whatever avenue or area that your education that you went to school for, you're just now receiving that job. And even with that job, you're not even paying off the plastic off of that debt. And even with that education, guess what? You're still not making ends meet. You might still have to take up a second job. So now you're sitting up there looking at all the time you spent as, was it really worth it? Because as soon as you walk down the street, you're looking at immigrants flooding directly in. And guess what? They're sitting up there getting all types of money. They're getting into college half off for free. They're getting job positions of which they don't even have the education or the background for or the tenure for, but yet they're receiving it because of nepotism and everything else. Because what happens is that when a lot of these illegal immigrants get directly in here, they will make sure to cut everybody else out and to get their friends and family directly in there. I know this by way of, like I said before, I worked at Whole Foods. And I literally saw this taking place. This is why you would have specific areas such as grocery. It would be nothing but like Latins or Dominicans, whatnot, or whatever, directly in there. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I'm like, so ain't nobody else that really wanted to like work at this store, wanted to, sit up there and be here and all this other. I'm like, that's wild to me. I'm like, word? Just y'all? Huh? But like I said, it'd be like that. And I had conversations with some of the guys who had come through with the cleaning service or whatnot. And I learned that a lot of people were from Honduras. They were from Peru. They were from Venezuela. They were from Mexico. They were from a lot of different places. So, like I said, I don't know what else to sit up and tell people. I don't know what else to specifically tell people. All I know is that at this moment in time, a lot of Black Americans like, yo, this is the moment in time to start showing up and showing out. Start going for any and all of these jobs directly up out of here. Start sitting up there doing it. Because like I said before, the main people that's getting deported are the main ones in every single state that make sure to cut your black self directly up out of these jobs. And just like I gave y'all the video somewhere during this week or last week, where the Hispanics were trying to talk to an African immigrant because they were like, "Oh, you're one of us," even though they don't like the Africans either. They do not like darker complected people, and this is known throughout. I'll sit up there and call it the Hispanic diaspora. This is known. They do not like the darkest melanated complected people directly out there. Like I said, I watched Telemundo for some years. Going to school, I done watched that for some years because they had Dragon Ball Z, and they had it was DB that they played, Dragon Ball, and then they also had GT. And I was up there watching the Baby Saga and everything like that, and in Spanish. I couldn't understand a lick, but I understood when Goku started screaming powering up. I understood that, right? But it was just crazy to sit up there and know that out of that whole landmass that you got dark complected people, and they would never be showing up there, right? Crazy work. Even to the aspect of I think it should have been Argentina, where they got certain German folks directly down there who escaped, right, the war. And a lot of them, quote unquote, state that they're proud of their German heritage. And even when it deals with the Argentinian team, they make sure not to have anybody dark as a representative for that team. Color me surprised. Like I said, still to this day, over there in South America, they're trying to do what it is that they can do in order to whitewash that whole continent. Still to this day. If you want to go back further, you can go back and look at how the South American government wanted 2.3. They allowed 2.3 or whatever millions of European immigrants to come directly over because they wanted to whiten the land. They wanted to make it as white as possible, white-like. So like I said, I know that a lot of them don't even like Africans because of how dark they are. But for the most part, that those Hispanics were like, we're going to put that to the side, and you're an African, you're an immigrant just like us. Like, we're in this together, brother. We got to get these Black Americans out of here, right? It's us. It's immigrants together, right? That's how they really tried to play the game, trying to play both sides. Like I said, pay attention. You got a lot of Hispanics out there. They will, number one, play for home. But also in that same number one slot, they'll play for the White House first. And I do mean White House. Anything that is European or Caucasian. And if they really want to get over on the system, the third option is to go towards anybody else that is an immigrant, even if they are darker complected. Anything to help them do what it is that they need to do, they will sit up there and do it and then cut them off at the knees later. Because that's just how they get down. So this is why I find it funny when I go back to, do I even have that video directly up here with that dude talking? The previous video that I gave y'all where the guy, the Latin guy was talking directly in his car. Let me see. Was this the video? Yeah.
I'm not saying
Going
it with
back
no
to
ER.
this video here where he wanted to say like, oh, it's just in this, that, and the third, all this other type of good stuff, right? I want everybody to realize that when it deals with the Hispanics in these jails and these prisons, it's sides. So I don't know how he's trying to paint this. I'm looking at this dude. He got tattoos on the side of his face, his neck, and all this other type of stuff. This dude has probably did a stint somewhere. He's probably been somewhere. When it deals with these prisons, any guy, especially for Black men, any Black dude out here that might have did a stint, they can sit up there and tell you how there are sides. The Hispanics will side with the white boys. And the white boys are the most racist ones up in there. They will side directly with that whole brotherhood directly up there as secondaries in order to have whatever power that they need, in order to have whatever protection that they need. And whatever ideologies and viewpoints those white boys have, that's how they look at the Black guys directly in there. Like I said, there are sections and sets. There are tables that you sit at, tables that you don't. There's areas in the prison that you go to, areas of that prison that you don't go to. Like I said, there are sides, and how he's trying to sit up there and play this as if everybody is human, everybody is one. Like I said, this is the type of games that they like to sit up there and play. They like to sit up there and play both sides. They like to sit up there and speak with a forked tongue. They like to tell a lot of lies. Like I said, he wanted to get up here and be standing like, all right, we ever heard somebody using the ER? Psh, we gonna sit up there and stump them out. We gonna stand on business. Nah, no, you're not. No, you're not. There's a lot of white boys out here, especially in Texas, that be saying all types of sideways stuff about black folks. You ain't about to stand 10 toes on them. You ain't about to be running through to those sundown towns. You ain't about to be doing none of that. You staying directly where you is. What did he say he from? He said he from Houston. He gonna stay right there. He ain't venturing nowhere outside of Houston. He ain't standing 10 toes down nowhere else outside of Houston. Like I said, how people want to try to posture and do this, and that online, like I said, it's crazy work. Like I said, if it ain't about them, people gonna mind their business. People are only going to care, and people are, only going to do something when it's specifically about them. That's it. That's how it goes. It's crazy, but Let's go to the next video. Let me just collect this from the background for you guys. Let me see. What was, I think it should have been, let me see. I got to put on the headphones so I can hear this real quick. Let me see. Was this it? Oh, yeah. So,
guys, no one should be going.
So somebody said this is the reason that you can't just believe anything directly online, right? So I'm going to let it play. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I'm going to play the whole totality of both sides of the videos that I was able to find. But you're going to hear of this young individual here in a car basically crying because her sister is going to get, taken away by some individuals, right? So let's just get into it.
You guys, no one should be going through this. We just dropped off my sister to go to work. And then just these...
Se la llevan, dile que se la están llevando, que ya es. Se la están llevando, dile que se la llevan otra vez.
Hey, they're taking her again.
Ayúdala, por favor, hey.
Hey, please help her. That's my sister. That's my sister. They're taking her.
Ciudadana.
Help her, someone.
Ella es ciudadana.
She's a U.S. citizen.
She's ciudadana. She's my daughter.
Help her. Someone help her. Help her, someone.
Ayúdenla, por favor. Ella es ciudadana, por favor.
She's a U.S. citizen.
Ella es ciudadana, por favor.
She's a U.S. citizen. Someone help her. ¿Dónde está?
Ella es ciudadana.
Someone help her. ¿Dónde está?
No se va. Se la llevaron, creo. Pero ¿por qué no se vino las 10 para acá, Madre Santa? She's my, sorry, and she's my daughter. She's ciudadana.
She's a U.S. citizen.
She's my daughter. She's your daughter. I'm so sorry. That's fucked up, cuz. Y para eso llamamos a la policía para que vinieran. No sé por qué no.
Heard that black slang in the background. It's crazy.
That's fucked up, nigga. I'm sorry, mommy. God bless you.
But it is actually a black woman back there.
Déjame con los padres.
So this is my story time /
So we heard it, right? The mother in there or whoever is sitting up here, that's my daughter. she was sitting up here saying, "Oh, you know, this shouldn't happen to nobody," yada yada yada, all this other type of good stuff, right? So now, in this long-winded video, you're going to get some answers to that previous video, and it'll start to make a little bit more sense.
Update on the video I posted today of me crying for my sister. I have read a few comments, some saying that y'all can see my tears, which okay, I can't control the way I react at that moment. Others saying why I didn't get out of the car, why my mom didn't get out of the car. I'm gonna explain everything, so hopefully this clears up everything. So today, June 24th, at around 9:30 in the morning, me and my mom dropped off my sister because she was going to work. So we dropped her off on, I believe, either 8th or 9th Street and Spring. And we dropped her off a few feet away from a tamale stand that was there that we believe was targeted. So it's a one-way lane and we can't.
Wait a minute. So wait, I just had to pause this real quick. So Jason L. Davis, you said what's her name? Was that the person that you were talking about, or were you talking about the mother? Let me know. I'll give you some time now to type that directly in there. Jedi Sage, what is up? You said white men can hire all whites, Mexicans can hire all Mexicans, Asians can hire all Asians, but blacks cannot hire all blacks. That is true. That is true. People will sit up there, oh, that's racist. Black people only hiring their own family, and right, yeah. Jason L said, not supposed to hire anyone based on race, technically speaking. Even hiring for movies is technically illegal, just not enforced. And I agree with it, although I think it should be enforced equally. I mean, I did just highlight your comment and you just like whizzed directly past that. And I was asking, were you talking about the person, the individual, directly up here on the screen that you were asking who their name was? Like, it's crazy to me how I can talk directly to people and they just like skip over as if the live stream didn't get paused. Yeah, so I just want you to know, because I'm looking directly at the background and I'm looking at the person. Brother, this seems to be a minor. I'm just going to put that this looks like a minor. This looks like a minor. Because I'm looking at that background and I'm seeing some Hello Kitty directly back there. You know, just gonna, you know, it's not looking too good. Look here. Yo, let me tell you something. I try to tell a lot of people, like, yo, y'all better stop sitting up there judging people directly off of looks. This is exactly how you sit up there and get yourself into situations. And Chris Hansen shows directly up at the door. I have your comment directly on the screen. I'm just saying, I'm looking at the comment. You were like, yo, what's her name? Yeah, like I said, just saying. A lot of things can be said without being said. That's all I'm saying. I'm just helping people out, point people in, and But anyways, let's continue.
Stopped there, so we just dropped her off and my mom quickly started driving. However, through her rear mirror, she saw that my sister was attacked from the back, and I can't confirm if this is true or not. we couldn't really see clearly, supposedly, or she was on the floor and she was getting arrested by these individuals. So we couldn't reverse because, like I said, it's a one-way lane. So we had to go around the block. And in the transition of that, my mom told me to call 911 and say that my sister was being kidnapped because these individuals didn't have vests that said ICE or Border Patrol. They were masked up. Some of their cars that they came in didn't have license plates. Like I was saying, so they didn't have badge numbers either. So some of y'all saying, why didn't you get the badge numbers? They didn't have badge numbers. So yeah, and they were able to get police on the scene. However, when we wanted to get to where she was at, we were stopped because there was already a lot of commotion. There was a lot of people. There was a lot of police officers. And from where we stopped, there wasn't really a clear view of everything that was happening.
What's up, Billy?
There was people in front of me. There was like poles in front of me. All we saw was that my sister was put in handcuffs. So when police arrived, I don't know what happened, but a police officer was able to get her and I guess take her with him. I don't know what the conversation was because it was like far from me. But that's when I started filming the video of me saying no one should be going through this. I started filming that because I saw that she was already with the police officer. However, as y'all can see, my reaction was when one of these individuals got her again, and I guess to take her back into the car, they had to carry her, like physically carry her and take her back into the car. And there was a lot of people, and from when I'm watching the news, the police department or the LAPD is basically saying that they were just there to control the people since there was a lot of people. And now I'm gonna get to the part where y'all saying why I didn't do anything, my mom didn't do anything. So keep this in mind. My sister is a U.S. citizen. She was born here in Los Angeles. I am as well a U.S. citizen. So what makes y'all think that they didn't care that she's a U.S. citizen? They took her. I could have been taken too. I'm a U.S. citizen. They didn't ask. By the way, they did not even ask her for like a social security number, real ID, passport. They didn't ask her nothing. They just literally went after her.
Let me pause real quick. Any dude pulling up here for the mods, this is just what we're gonna have to do. Anytime that a dude comes up here and they're saying that the person directly on screen is attracted to them, just ban them. Because I don't got time. Because you don't even know the age of this person. From everything that I'm able to assess and see, this appears to be a minor. So for other grown men out here to not even try to just assess the situation before speaking or saying anything is what 1,000% crazy to me. That's 1,000% crazy to me. Like I said, you don't even know the age of the person. This person could even just be like 12 years old. You don't even know. But just because you feel that the person looks a certain type, like, yo, I need Chris Hansen. Like, where's Chris Hansen at? I need my boy out here. I need Chris Hansen. I need Chris Hansen. I need Chris Hansen. I need Chris Hansen. Because like that's crazy to me. Like that's 1,000% diabolical. Like you don't know any, like I said, I'm looking directly at the back. I put it to you like this. Never at any point in time have I ever seen or known of a grown woman to just have like some Hello Kitty posters and stuff like directly in the back. Brother, what? Huh? What do we? No. No, like, brother. I need Chris Hansen. I need Chris. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe maybe I'm from a different timeline or something. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But like I said, maybe I've covered too many videos dealing with stuff throughout the years in my mind is just, I don't know. I don't know. But for me, I'm seeing it as problematic. Maybe it's like I said, maybe it's just me. Anyways, let's continue.
For no reason when she was just trying to get to work. Second of all, my parents are residents. These individuals, like I said, didn't have a badge number, didn't have ICE written nowhere. I saw one man, he was wearing a white shirt, and he literally just had like a badge or like a necklace thing. I don't know what they're called. And I'm not really sure what it said, but that was it. And he was masked up. Like, what makes y'all think we're gonna risk our lives too?
I gotta pause again. Yo, see, this is what I'll be talking about right here. And this is why I'm going to, it just reminded me now, this is why I gotta get into the other article where YouTube had to, I guess, up the age limit when it deals with people going and doing live streams, because you got people like this Jerry US that wants to send hearts directly in the comment section. This is what I be talking about. Y'all some weirdos, dog. Y'all some straight weirdos. Like, if I had links directly to the FBI, I would make sure that y'all would get reported real quick. Like, I kid you not. I would make sure the FBI is directly on my channel every single time I go live, so that they can just capture all of y'all. Like, y'all some straight weirdos. 1000% weirdos. Like, if I even knew your Facebook right now, Lord have mercy. God help you. God help you. But like I said, I'll showcase stuff like this directly on the channel or even during a live stream, and all the people that got a problem with the way that I talk, they will never go after these individuals who decide to say this to what appears to be a minor. Y'all don't got no smoke, zero smoke for people like that. But y'all got all the words for me, though, because I'm the one that's problematic, though, right? Let's continue.
And it could have ended up worse. But so from my point of view, and from other people as well, where we noticed that the police was just there to control the crowd, and they were preventing people from getting involved in the situation. So even if I would have gotten out, I wouldn't have been able to do anything, because they would have held me back and they would have still taken her regardless. So yeah. So after that, we went into her work office. They were able to help us a little bit. I'm the only one me and my sister speak English, and my parents both speak Spanish. They don't really speak English. So I was the one who had to be like at the ICE detention center with her employee, by myself, basically, because my mom, she was scared that they might take her too. So I was the only one who was there with the employee or the employer. And we basically asked one place, they're like, she's not here, she doesn't have an alien number, we can't find her, go here. We went there, they couldn't really give us much information either. So then we went back to the workplace, because I had a huge headache. Literally, I barely eaten anything. But anyways, after that, we were able to get a lot of help from our family and friends. We were able to contact CBS News or Channel 9. We did an interview there, and then we also did an interview at Univision 34, to get like more attraction. So if any attorney could help us. Currently, we have an attorney. He's gonna try to visit her tomorrow in the morning. However, we don't really know what her exact location is. And from what I figured, we were also able to get her belongings. Her boyfriend actually went, and while we were doing the interview, to get her belongings, and they told him, or he got information that her court hearing was going to be maybe the day after tomorrow. So yeah. They're also trying to press charges against her. We don't really know what charges they are yet. She doesn't have any criminal records. And we believe that maybe she was trying to protect herself. We don't really know. and maybe they're trying to be like, oh, she was resisting, which at that point, when you're getting attacked from the back unknowingly, what is your first instinct? Literally self-defense. From what I've seen, there was also another man who was taken who was also a US citizen. However, I can't really identify him because I was looking at the news and they didn't say his name. But I know that we are all suffering right now, and I feel like this is a moment that no one should ever go through. This is very hurtful for me and my family. I can't even imagine what little kids seeing their parents taken away even feel right now. And for those commenting hurtful or hateful comments, I hope y'all find peace and happiness in your life, because overall we are all people and we all deserve to be treated equally. We are all humans. We all have rights regardless of race, legal status, whatever. And overall, no one should be going through this. This is something I would never wish upon someone because it is very hurtful. This is pretty much all the information we have at the moment, but I will keep y'all updated when I know more.
Right. So we heard that, right? So it went from the whole aspect of her crying with her mom directly in a car, that her sister was supposedly getting detained or whatnot by ICE, but then we find out that it was basically police. And also the reason that she's more than likely going to have charges pressed on her is because she was fighting police. This is why I sat up and told y'all it was a long-winded video, because all she had to do was pretty much get to the point. She could have actually just paired up the video with her crying underneath while she was explaining. It would have just simply took less than 5 minutes for her to actually do. And again, that's not what she wanted to do, because again, everything on social media is about the views, it's about the attention, it's about this, that, and the third. So yeah, it's crazy work out here. 100%. Also, because I don't want people to think that I was, blatantly just ignoring. I was focused on quite a few things. I want to give a much love, respect, and a shout out to any and everybody that's, donated to the live stream. Right now, I'm trying to go in the back and I'm trying to get this little video prepared for you guys. Matter of fact, while I'm doing that, let me see if I can read some of the comments that showed up. We got Brand of Your World, of course. It said, here comes a new challenger. We got Jedi Sage. What is up? What is up? What is up? Said tuition. Keep it up. Great work. Gotcha. Much love. Much love. Much love. We got brother Allen. I was actually about to say bro Allen, but it's same thing. We got brother Allen directly in the building with the super sticker. I can't really see what the super sticker is, but I can highlight some of these. Wait, did I just? That didn't make any sense. Okay, yeah. Got brother Allen right there. For whatever reason, the other message that Jedi had up there disappeared because I pressed the star, which didn't make sense. Jedi Sage said, no respect till you need help. That is bars. That is bars. Jedi also said, with the $10 dono, said, white men can hire, white men can hire all whites. Like basically at the end of the day, if black people do and go by the same methods as everybody else, we will suffer consequences of which nobody else has to suffer. And again, this is very much true. And I've heard people say that, oh, it's racist if black people only want to hire black people. Just imagine if white people did. People do it all the time. This is how you got Chinatown and all these others, because people will hire their own. They will make sure that their people are all around. They just do it without saying it. And then everybody else gets the picture. Right? White people ain't trying to move into Chinatown and trying to open up a business and compete and do all this. They're like, nah, you got that. That is your spot. Up there in Dearborn, Michigan, white people ain't up there trying to go up to Dearborn, Michigan and trying to slide in there with the Chaldeans and the other Arabs and whatnot and trying to. No, it was like, you got that spot. That's your home. That's your spot. Y'all done built everything up. Y'all take care of it. All right, it's cool. But like I said, when black people decide to sit up there and do the exact same things as everybody else, it's problematic. And it's crazy. That's 100% crazy. Also, I did see you. I saw you up there, Tippy. Much love, respect, and appreciation. I'm trying to go back up to, your comment because this is normal. When Timmy's like, see me, read my comments. You're ignoring. Timmy said, I have a Hello Kitty lamp, pillows, and decor toys of Hello Kitty on my dresser. That's different. That is completely different, Tippy. You're a big kid. But we know that you're an adult. So that's a clear, that's a clear cut difference. That's a clear cut difference. Right? We know that you're an adult. This person right here, no. Like I said, as a guy, it is best to assume that the person is underage up until further notice. Up until you can see like a birth certificate, ID. You see them go directly into like a 30, 20, 21 up club or a 30 up club or something like up until that this person is of age, then you can sit up there and say stuff. If you don't know, you are playing a very dangerous game of Russian roulette. But like I said, I used to sit up there and watch How to Catch a Predator whenever it would come on Nightline. And obviously a lot of dudes out here playing Russian roulette with their lives and freedoms. So, it's nothing I can do about that. Nothing I can do about that. Somebody said time for black people to start hiring black people only and don't have to say anything. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is 100% true. I do have the videos on Trump with the birthright citizenship. I got y'all real quick. What I'm doing now is that I'm just trying to get rid of some of the background off of this video so I can upload it to give a little bit of. Okay, I got it. So that's going to take a little bit to probably get done. Oh, will it? It might. Let me see. Sage said, just because Jedi said, hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Let me see if I can get the birthright video directly up here dealing with Trump. Let me see. I gotta swap over real quick. I should have actually had that real quick. There's also another video. I can't specifically play it because they're doing they're playing. If anybody who is black, Usher, he got a song called Daddy's Home. Whoever is running the Trump page or whatnot or whatever, I guess on Twitter or whatnot or whatever, they are playing. Let me just put this up there. I gotta try to mute it real quick. Right. So somebody, they obviously have to be white, decided to put Usher's Daddy's Home directly on this video of this t-shirt when it deals with this t-shirt. Like I said, it's crazy work out here. I ain't never in my life seen anything like that. And then to make it a little bit worse, I just got to make this worse. I got to put the icing on the cake. Let me just show you. I wish I would have had the picture reversed, but I don't have it reversed. This is white guys. Bring it in real quick. This is what y'all doing. This is what y'all doing. You're calling another man daddy that is not your biological father, even a stepfather, not even a grandfather, not even a once in a lifetime father. You're calling a presidential candidate who before this was just somebody who was just an entertainer. You're fired, right? The Apprentice. You're wearing a t-shirt saying that daddy's home. I don't even know where to even go. You guys have fallen so low at this moment in time. I'm not even sure if there's a way you can come back. This is crazy. And this man, he really thought he was doing something. He is really taking this picture. He's like, yeah, I'm wearing this t-shirt of Trump, daddy's home. I got my blue jeans on, make America great. Oh my God. Oh my God. I ain't never in my life. Never in my life. I will officially say, like, this has to be a cult. It has to be a cult. I've never seen anything like this. Like this is such clownery. This is such clownery. I've never. Yo, this is oh man. I'm not sure if this is like just because I know like you got a lot of white dudes out here that's into like a humiliation like type of kink and stuff like that. I'm not sure if this is what that is, but this is just wow. 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 He really he's like, yeah, I'm doing my big one today, guys. Got my Trump shirt on. Oh my goodness. Brandy B. World said, this is beyond zesty. Why is he posting this? I don't even know. He also said, it's crazy how they worship this man. That is facts. Like I said, you can't make, like I told y'all before, if I happen to talk about stuff, I'm at least going to bring y'all the proof. I'm going to bring y'all some pictures if I can, as long as they're not nothing, way too crazy that I got to try to blur stuff out. Like I said, crazy work. But to go into the aspect, I got to actually go back and get the videos. But to go into the aspect of what I was talking about where Black people need to start filling in, like, just figuring out what to do. Let me show you these two young Black brothers. And I do mean that they are young Black brothers because they're twins. Let me make sure this is the video. Let me see it. Okay, yeah. And this is positive. Look at this. Look at this.
Summer, me and my twin brothers decided that we're going to open up our own bacon wrap hot dog business called Glizzy Street. Instead of doing nothing at home, we want to make some money and try to do something big. We invested $400 that we saved from working weekends at our family gas station to start it up. It's a pretty big investment for us, but with some hard work and long nights, it will all be worth it. The first day we were pretty nervous and there was no customers for the first hour, and things started to pick up. First, we sold 1 hot dog, then 2, then 5, 10, and at the end of the day, we ended up selling over 20 hot dogs, which is pretty good in my opinion. If you want to show us some support, we are located in Long Beach at the American Oil gas station 7 days a week from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Be sure to like, follow, and share our journey. We hope to see you soon. Peace.
So we all saw that, right? So again, I like showing off these videos because it covers two different things, right? One, it clears up the whole thing where a lot of people always see the negative when it deals with the young Black boys directly out here, and how a lot of people say that, oh, Black people don't want to work, they're lazy, this, that, and the third, and all this other type of stuff. These two young men worked at a family business, saved up money, and they're like, yo, we see, something going on with the economy. We see where it is that we can slide directly in and start trying to just make a little bit of money. And they formulated their own business. Dope. 100% dope. They out there cooking. They got their fresh ingredients, all this other type of stuff. Beautiful work. Like I said, this is the type of stuff that we need more of directly out here. The other thing that I'm also going to state as well, because I've covered stories like this even in my neighborhood and different things of that nature, where young Black boys have decided, oh, let me open up a hot dog stand or a lemonade stand or this, that, and the third. What inevitably the sad part is, what happens with stuff like this, you'll have those out there 9 times out of 10 who are white. They will decide to drive past and they'll see them doing something, right? They're quote unquote pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. They're not depending on the government. They're not looking for handouts. They're literally working. They're entrepreneurs for all intents and purposes, formulated a business, and they're providing a service directly to the public. You'll have those white folks out there that will see these young Black dudes doing this, and they'll decide to harass them by calling the police, like, oh, do they have a license to do this? Is this a registered business? What's the temperature of the food? Food poisoning. They should be inside of a building. This is a little bit dank. Like, they'll make up any and everything in order to destroy what it is that these young dudes are sitting up there doing. So this is when it comes into the community to protect. Whenever it is that our young men are out here doing this, we need to have some type of protection directly for them. We need to have a type of support system directly for them so that they can flourish. Because mind you, I done been in suburbs. I done seen white kids have lemonade stands and all this other type of stuff. Nobody questions nothing. The fire department comes directly through, the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, Voltron, Zordon, the Avengers. Everybody will come through to sit up there and be there. Nobody's questioning on if the lemons are fresh. Where did they get the water directly from? Nobody's questioning on if the dog might have licked directly out of the picture, or something like that, or if the hands were clean that were chopping the lemons, putting it into. Nobody's questioning none of that, right? Nobody's worried about OSHA violations and all this, right? But when it deals with our young men just simply trying to do something, right, just trying to forge a way, which is that's supposed to be the American way, magically is problematic. So like I said, as much as I love this happening, we also need to make sure that we protect, we back up, and we support our young boys out here when they are doing these things, because there's a lot of other people out here that don't want to see them doing positive things. Like whenever they see young black boys out here doing something positive, it does something to their brain where they can't even fixate on going back to the factory default setting of racism. They're just they're just like somewhere in the middle, like the computer's on a fritz, right? And it, like I said, it does something. And it's something that they can't really compute because it's going against the narrative of what it is that they were specifically trained on and taught. It's against the narrative of, let's say, like a Fox News and all these, other conservative individuals that want to always talk about the young black boys out here not doing this, not doing that, and all this other type of stuff. So, like I said, whoever the parents are, much love, respect, and shout out to y'all for how it is that y'all raise these young boys directly out here, and how it is that they're on their way to achieve greatness, creating their own business, formulating a plan, going through with it even when they were not making sales within the first I think, what was it, like 20 or 30 minutes, and they just kept going there. And then people started coming by, people started buying up, and then they closed up shop, and they're going to be there throughout the week. So again, shout out to them. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Hopefully, fields of people will come directly through there to support those young men on what it is that they're doing. Right? We need to see more positivity out here. There you go. But so now we're going to go to the Trump video dealing with the birthright citizenship. This is technically my first. I seen snippets. So this is technically my first time, seeing it. I know some of y'all might have already saw it already. So, it'd be like that if this is a rerun for you. So let's just take a look at what he had to state. Oh, wait, I actually got to take down the video. Let me take down that Daddy's Home video. And that sounds crazy by itself. Take that down. So let me play this real quick.
Decision. And thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious.
Said it a second
this
time.
lets us go there and finally win that case, because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country under birthright citizenship, and it wasn't meant for that reason. It was meant for the babies of slaves. So thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with these numerous policies and those that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis, including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries, and numerous other priorities of the American people. We have so many of them. I have a whole list. I'm not going to bore you, and I'm going to have Pam get up and say a few words, but there's really, she can talk as long as she wants, because this is a very important decision. This is a decision that covers a tremendous amount of territory. But I want to just thank again the Supreme Court for this ruling. It's a giant. It's a giant. And they should be very proud, and our country should be very proud of the Supreme Court today.
He said about a good 3 times. You know, my hearing might be a little bit off, but I almost thought he said it a 4th time. He clearly said that birthright citizenship was meant for the slaves, the children of slaves, and everything of that nature, everything dealing with slavery, right? Chattel slavery, right? It wasn't for nobody else. Everybody else trying to use it, scammers, thieves, criminals. That's what he said. That's what Trump said. That's the clear-cut president they voted for. Like I honestly told people before, I don't got a dog in this race. I'm just sitting back and enjoying the show. But that really has to hurt a lot of folks directly out there, especially the ones that wanted to speak about Black Americans in a certain type of way that have been for months now or quite some years. Shout out to Fat Joe, that wanted to come out there and attack Black Americans and say a variety of things which did not need to be said. Oh, diabolical. So now, for anybody that wants to talk about birthright citizenship, you better sit up there and and stand up straight when you say it, because you talking about Black Americans. You ain't talking about nobody else. Talking about Black Americans. Trump said it. So there's no debate. There's no ringamarole. There's no ring around the rosy. There's no loop-de-loo and loop-de-la. It's none of that. It's only one way. And at least us, right? Like I said, that's crazy. That is diabolical. Jedi said YouTube is playing with your numbers as usual. Wait, what numbers? What you talking about? Which side? Wait, Jedi, which channel you on? Because that would also let me know what you're talking about. Yeah, let me know. Let me see if I look on my end. Right. Number wise, we are doing pretty well. Jedi said, put some respect on FBA. That is bars. Number wise, we're doing pretty good, actually. What was it? Billy said, I can't see any comments in the chat. I mean, the comments on, because we're looking at the chat on the same channel, so you should be able to see the comments. They should populate. Possibly. I mean, the chat rate right now is about like 4 or 7 at this moment in time, because I think it dipped a little bit more than normal. I mean, on my end, it's looking all right. I don't really see anything that's problematic. Oh, that threw me off real quick. I sat up there and saw something on the top bar. Now, if I happen to look on the other side, give me a quick second, and I'll look at the numbers over here. Then, now I'll tell you, if you're looking at on the other channel, it's a little bit different. So numbers are looking a little bit different. Current viewers will be 13. 560, showed up there. Chat rate is pretty much 0 at that moment in time. So everything chat wise is on the other side, technically. Oh yeah, I see Mo had blocked somebody just sitting up there just spamming nonsense in there. Like I said, shout out to all my moderators, at this moment in time. Much love, respect, and appreciation. I can't, like I said, when I'm on the whole other on one channel, I can't really see it because I'm using, StreamYard or whatnot, so it doesn't really show up how it normally should show up. So yeah. But again, much love, respect, and appreciation to all of my moderators that are currently here at this moment in time. But yeah, like I said, it is there. Brandon B. World said it's crazy. It's crazy that his family is immigrated into America by 2 generations. Nice to know we have citizenship from being slaves. Y'all can wake me up in 3. This man is going to sleep. This man was probably at work or something. Probably just got home. Probably. Gail said, "Hit the screen twice. It is greatly appreciated." That is bars. Oh, he said, "Wake me up in 3 years." Okay, I got you. Jedi said, "I'm on Google." Wait, on Google? Wait, huh? Wait, that's throwing me off. Wait, what you mean you're on Google? That's throwing. I'm like, wait a minute. The hamster. As soon as I'm like, hamster is off the wheel right now. I don't know what this man mean right now. Working said, if they don't like Birthright, then they can try changing the Constitution. Deborah said, I may not agree with Trump on some things. No, I didn't vote for him, but I do agree with this statement. No, I agree too. Like I said, I don't got a dog in this race. I've told people this for the longest time possible on this platform, even though I still get questioned on everything, which is crazy. But this right here, this will go down this Soul Caliber wise in the annals of history. Again, that's what Soul Caliber stated. I'm only, filling in the gaps with that. No Diddy. Repeating that exact same instance. But like I said, this is going to be written for the history books. It's going to be written in the history books. Deborah said, let me see. Right. I read that one. Gil said, hit that like button twice. We got Yun in the building. What is up? You said, I'm on the SEIJIHITO channel. Okay, so you're on the original channel. Yeah, so the chat is going to look a little bit light because you're probably the only one typing on there at the moment in time. Everybody else is probably on the second, on the second one right there. So, Sham said, so since his wife is an immigrant, but he has citizenship, is his children protected under Birthright? That is a very good question. I think it's different because he's president of the United States, so they could, they can do something about that. And I don't ever think there will be a point in time where the system would be like, you know what, even though you're the president of the United States, we're going to, deport your family. They ain't doing that. They would have to, like, the type of stuff that they would have to deal with trying to do that. Oh boy, that would not even go down at all. And I'm pretty sure nobody in the Republican Party, even if they dislike Trump at this moment in time, they would never even try to implement or even look in that direction, because that'll be the end of their career in a multitude of ways, literally. So, that's probably not going to happen at all. But that is a very good point. Very, very good point. Let me see. Sage said they on YouTube and all the CIA. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I got you. D Money said the Annals of History is diabolical. Hey, look here. If you ever played Soul Calibur and you heard the intros, they said this. Like, I'm not making this up. Anybody that is a gamer, you've heard this. This was what was it? It should have been Soul Calibur 4 when they had Darth Vader on there. I swear to goodness they said it. I kid you not. I heard this. I don't even have the game on me, but the moment in time that I can happen to get that game back and go through and play it, I'm telling you, they said it. I promise you. Let me see. I am said I am listening. I got you. Jedi said he good. Money and power. Yep. Dear Self said he is an American citizen, therefore it would not apply to his children. It would more than likely apply to someone with both immigrant parents. True. I see that. Brad Every World said he's not targeting white immigrants. Yeah, that is very much true. He is not targeting white immigrants. This is why we also got Elon's family directly over here, aka the other South African immigrants, who realistically, if you want to be real about it, they are African Americans, because those people are those Europeans were born and raised there in Africa. South Africa are literally African Americans. So this is, again, as I've said in multitude of videos, this is why I don't even use, and I'm just saying for me, respect to anybody else that wants to use any other type of branding and whatnot or whatever, but that's why specifically I don't use the terminology African American, because other people can literally come over here and say that they're African American, and the meaning for it is different. They're saying that because they're from Africa. Black people here will be saying it because of the historically the lineage and all that other type of stuff, right? Dealing with slavery, transatlantic slave trade, and all that other type of stuff. But realistically, Black American or whatnot or whatever should be used to categorize Black Americans. Because realistically, at this point in time, anybody who's born in Africa could literally come over here and call themselves an African American. Somebody Indian could literally be born and raised. Their parents are Indian, but they're born and raised in Africa, making them African, could come directly over here, in a sense, for all intents and purposes, be an Indian African American, however you want to sit up there and frame it. But yeah, what was it? Sham said something. Oh yeah. Brandon V World said white Africans. I mean, yeah, aka the White Wolf. Shout out to Wakanda. Black Panther. You got that whole thing directly out here. Now let me go to this. Oh, whoa! Mexican OT gave an apology. Let me see. I lost one of them. I'm sorry to everyone I offended, any race or belief. Let me nah. We're not doing that. Like I said, this is why I be trying to tell people. If you're gonna sit up there and say something, and I did probably about a few videos dealing with Mexican OT and the stuff that he said up there and stated. So let me just put his tweet, because this just ran by me real quick. So let me just put this tweet directly up there. That's crazy. I'm like, no, stand 10 toes down on specifically what it is. So Mexican OT is the rapper that came through, and he was on a podcast with a whole bunch of like women that were from elsewhere. They weren't Black American women from elsewhere. And he specifically said that I could say the word and what you're gonna do about it, right? So now he didn't set up there and said that somebody been cool, with him for some years, basically all love with a brown heart. He said, it messed me up. I lost one of them. I'm sorry to anyone I offended of any race or belief. Thank you to everyone who still love me. It's like, nah, you messed it up for yourself, because we specifically told you online, and like I said, he's famous. He's online because this is where a lot of demographic, a lot of people basically are, and or whoever's running his page. He knows what people are specifically saying. He knows how Black Americans feel about this. Everybody that made, well, I'm not gonna say everybody. A lot of people made videos about this, either if they feel that he can use it or if they feel that he can't use it. Like I say, he knows how people are speaking about this, and he opted not to address it or say nothing for it. Other people doubled down for him, and these people were Black. Other people, well, I'm sorry. I learned as of recently. What was the dude's name? What's the other rapper's name? I forgot his name. Because I thought he was Black. Somebody told me he was Honduran. Right. One of the other rappers that was defending Mexican OT the first time came back through and was like, "Oh, my bad. It was really how he stated it was the real problem. Him saying it ain't the problem, is how he made his stance." And then the guy went back on another podcast and further, doubled down on the secondary response that he set up there. And I think it was a Sauce, Sauce Walker, like, bro. This is why I try to sit up there and tell people, it's like, you got a lot of people that try to be the face of Black America, or try to represent and speak, especially when it deals with like these celebrities. It's like, nah, this is why we can't allow this to sit up there and happen. Like I said, going back to the whole thing with Travis Scott, he was the main one sitting up there talking about Mike Brown, and he was saying all of this clown stuff and in front of somebody who was what, Latin or whatnot, or whatnot or whatever, like saying some crazy stuff. I'm like, dog, who are you right now? I'm like, why are you even speaking on this? I'm like, just if you don't really got nothing intelligent to say about the situation, just move out, just move around. And this is why I sat up here and said that a lot of these celebrities, they don't need to be talking politics. They don't need to be talking about stuff that's going on socially, because they don't really know. Case in point, Ashton Kutcher, who is on the side for that college football coach, all to find out that everything that people were saying about that college football coach was 100% true. And then he had to pipe down. And what did Ashton Kutcher not learn? He didn't learn to shut up. What did Ashton Kutcher then do? He came directly up and spoke for one of his friends from that 70s show. All to sit up there and find out that his friend from that 70s show did the stuff that people said that he was doing. And him and Mila Kunis had to sit up there and shut up and sit down. Like I said, this is why celebrities need to just, y'all, a lot of times, y'all, they just need to shut up. And a lot of people, and I'm going to sit up there and say I'm going to include myself, because there's been certain points in times I'm like, yo, we need celebrities to speak up. They got these platforms, and we don't need them to speak up. What needs to happen is that for people who have platforms, i.e. myself, we need to be the ones speaking up. We need to be the ones putting out the information. We need to be, the ones, in a sense, leading some type of charge, or at least putting information and making other people aware directly out there. Never depend on celebrities for nothing. If they decide to do something, that's great. If they don't, that's great too. Right? Never look at it as that they're obligated to do anything for the Black community. This is where we fail every single time. We put more dependency on Black celebrities versus putting all that dependency and responsibility on ourselves. We got way more money than any of these celebrities. And I'm talking about combined. I'm talking about the Black community combined got way more money than any of these Black celebrities. So this is why I say a lot of responsibility needs to fall on the shoulders of the Black community, regardless on if you want to take it or not, because you believing in whatever you want to believe in, and shooting up a faith flare of hope is not going to sit up there and work out. You got to do the groundwork. You got to walk those physical miles to get to the destination that you want to get to. Right? So I don't know. But yeah, this the whole thing dealing with Mexican OT, that apology not accepted. At least on my side, not accepted. Because you said it with your full chest. You said, what is anybody going to do about it? Stayed directly on that hill. Stay directly on that hill on how it is that you felt, because you were 100% on there. Don't be going back now. Like I said, that's the one thing I hate the most, when a lot of these people get directly on here and try to send a message to Black Americans, what you going to do about it? Who going to sit up there and stop me? This, that, and stand directly on that hill. And like I said before, this is why you don't see Black Americans up here fighting for other groups and nationalities, because of the type of disrespect that they put on display for everybody to sit up here and see. And then people think that Black Americans are supposed to turn around and turn the other cheek. Again, we don't have any more cheeks to sit up there and turn. We've been turning cheeks since the starting of this country. We don't got nothing else to turn. We don't got nothing else to turn. This is I'm going to take it to another extent. This is why you got what's called the red man, because all of the Black has been turned red for all intents and purposes. Dealing with all of the turns that we've had to do in order to give other people grace, in order to body block, or to show good faith, in order to love other people, even though we've been the utmost disrespected groups and peoples directly out here. Like I said, it's crazy. Like I said, I need people to spend 10 toes down. What do you say? Brandon B. World said that boy had the Kanye effect. That was like, that whole podcast was crazy. Just watch him, like my jaw was on the floor. I'm like, you cannot be this stupid. And I'm like, it was crazy. That whole Travis Scott thing was crazy. Sham said, I'm tired. I think we're all just tired. I'm working on myself because I don't got any energy for it anymore. Yeah. Sham says she hates Myron Gaines. What a terrible human being. Hey, like I said, it'd be like that. Yeah, it be like that. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there that know what to say in order to empower themselves and to get what it is that they want at the end of the day. This is why you have uh certain individuals out there that are melanated that play on the other side of the field, meaning ultra conservative, and they have all of the white talking points and all this other type of stuff, and they want to spearhead conversations when it deals with black people and yada yada yada. Like I said, and a lot of those people are not even Black American, but yet they're in that spot because they're going to talk and say the things that are needed to be stated, so that the other people can just sit back and relax and just point the finger, and be like, see what this black conservative said. See what he said about you blacks. He said it. You can't say that he's racist. He's one of yours. See, that's how that works. You got somebody literally who was melanated in blackface, realistically, for all intents and purposes, politically speaking, right? But a lot of people don't happen to get it or understand it or see how that has a negative or a detrimental effect, and how that can undermine progress and what it is that Black Americans are trying to do, which is just get their just dues from the things that are transpiring or that have transpired, historically. Right, because like the one story that I gave y'all before, it was he Panamanian or someone, I forgot what he was, but it was a melanated dude who was in a seat of power at this moment in time. Forgot what state it was, but he voted against reparations and said that there needs to be studies. Reparations have been getting studied since before he was born. There's nothing else that needs to get studied. Like I said, you got a lot of people that are put in place that look like you in order to derail and to undermine anything of what it is that you're trying to get directly from the system. Because they're like, well, if we can't get anything specifically out of the system, then you're not getting anything. And that's how a lot of them think. But it'd be like that. It's crazy. Diabolical work. Diabolical work. Oh, also, just in case I didn't say it before, what is up, Gail? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Indigenous Set Officer Tatum is one of them. Yeah, I done seen quite a few of his videos. I didn't seen quite a few of his videos. There's some other black male content creators out there that's right in that same area, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I hope it's worth it. That's the best that I got for any and all. I hope that it's worth it at the end of I hope your belly is full. I hope your bank account is just astronomical. I hope it is very much worth it playing this game at the end of the day. Because inevitably what is going to happen is that once they are no longer needed, and those white folks will tell them when they're no longer needed, this is when they're going to try to return back and try to speak some niceties to the black community, aka Candace Owens. Try to, resend and try to be like, you know what? Because what did Candace just recently say? That she regrets supporting Donald Trump and this, that, and the third. I mean, it'd be like that. But people, don't want to listen. And again, Candace is not Black American. She's not Black American. She didn't want to sit up there and listen. And she is now seeing in the full totality how that party directly is and how it is that they roll, regardless on the fact that she has a biracial child and she has a white husband. None of that mattered. So, like I said before, I would really wish that people would stand directly on what it is that they go directly for. I would respect people more. Like I said, when Candace was all on her rants and stuff, even if I disagreed 100% with a lot of the stuff, well, I'm not going to say 100 because there were other issues that were non-black related that I'm like, you know what? She is making some points. I'm not understanding how other people not seeing this, right? And I'm talking about things that had zero to do with black people, zero. That had more so to do with like social bathroom, children, and all of that type of stuff, men and women being married, stuff like that made sense. But regardless on all of that stuff that she was sitting up there talking about, she fully learned that, hey, these people just ain't really like they're throwing me out to the wind. They no longer, need me. It's sort of like the whole thing with Stacey Dash, how you see her right now trying to dip her toe directly into the black community. Because right now, Stacey Dash was trying to do a redo of When It All Falls Down music video that she was in with Kanye West. And I'm like, is she really doing this right now? I'm like, you were the exact same person when Trump first got into office where you were just jubilated. You were happy. You were just there in that moment. And couldn't nobody sit up there and tell you nothing. And then you wiggled because you didn't know what was going on. And then you had your complaints. And now Trump is in office again. And now you're sitting up here doing this. Come on now. Shouldn't you be trying to wiggle your way into some country music or something like that? Like I'm not understanding. Like, it's crazy. And if you really think about it, she in a sense fits with her role in Clueless, because she legitimately seemed like the type that would be specifically after white dudes. Like her whole personality and the way that she moved and everything. And here we are in 2025. It's crazy work. Crazy work. What Kanye say? It'd be the prettiest ones got the lowest self-esteem. Yeah. And that is her. Like I said, she doing anything out here for some type of validation because she's suffering from the lowest self-esteem. Crazy work. Man. Gil 7% don't speak now, says it's too late. That's cold-blooded. I could have sworn I actually sat up there and mentioned both you and Tippy earlier. Whatever, Gil. Sitting up here doing this. I ain't doing this with you today, Gil. Lunch said that's why when they getting USA work, I'm just sitting back with my popcorn. Yeah. We got Titan in the building, said broken tools never was in our community, not going to be now. Bars. Gail says, Seji, are you the father of one of those hot dog stand toys? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I am not, Gil. I've never been to LA in my life at all. Dark Titan said, I agree too, but not when she's attacking victims of police violence. Yeah. D Money said that was real. I thought that video was fake. Nah, that's a real video. That is a real video. Lunch said the thing that Candace was right about don't overshadow the things that she was out of pocket about. No. You are correct. You are 100% correct. I'm just sitting up here saying that there are certain things that 1% of the time I see what she's talking about is making sense. The 99.9% of the time, that woman is just wrong. And I'm not talking about looking at it from an emotional standpoint. I'm just looking at it like, yo, what are you even doing right now? I'm like, all of these things that are taking place in America with a very specific group of which your husband is a part of, but it's like you ain't calling it out. You're not really, talking about it, in a sense. It's almost like when you think about the whole thing of dealing with what was the dude's name? Don Lemons. And then you sit up here and see him talking all of this stuff, ultra pro black and doing this, that, directly on television, and then he got a white hut. I'm like, bro, how does this? I'm like, nah, we ain't doing this. I'm like, yo, my jaw hit the floor. Like I said, I can care less that Don Lemons is gay. I don't even care. But it's like, so you mean to tell me that you couldn't even find like an intelligent, college bound, like black guy? Like, brother, like what's happening? Like, and like I said, there's other content creators who have also covered this as well too, on how some of the individuals who are on social media will portray themselves as the highest and the mightiest when it deals with being ultra pro black, and then you find out that they have a white significant other. I'm like, that needs to be studied. That needs to be studied, because it's not making sense. Because it's not making sense, because anything that you're speaking on is not going to be beneficial to your household at all. You're in a split household. You're literally in a divided household. It's like y'all can't even, in a sense, realistically, be on the same page, because in order for your Caucasian significant other to be on the same page, they would in a sense have to forego anything that deals with them. And they ain't gonna do that. That goes against all survival. That goes against everything that deals with survival instincts. They're not going to do that. They are not going to sit up there and do that. They'll tell you to your face that, okay, yeah, I agree, you're correct on it. But at the end of the day, they're going to do what's for their own best interest. They're still playing for the home team at the end of the day. You know, like I said, this is the way that I look at this at this moment in time. There's a comic book. I think it should have been Blue Marvel, because for whatever reason, whenever you got a black superhero, they got to pair him up with somebody that is white, right? And that's usually to watch directly over said person. And this is why I happen to look at a lot of the stuff when I see the NFL and the NBA and all this other type of stuff. I'm like, these women are placed here specifically to also tag and mark the black dudes out here, so that everybody else knows, like, okay, these are safe ones. They're not going to go out of bounds. They're going to do what needs to be done. They're going to shut up and dribble and all this other type of stuff. And it's also to monitor and watch their conversations, because they know that they're giving over. White people know that they're handing these black dudes millions of dollars, of which is life changing. They can do a lot of things in the black community, but they make sure to give them something so that they can keep them within bounds. And that's what they sit up there and do. And when I think about the whole thing dealing with, let's say like a Candace Owens, I'm like, that's what, in a sense, I felt like happened there. When I look at Don Lemons, that seems like that's what happened there. And then you got a lot of other, people that have some type of power or light or whatnot or whatever. It's like they always, like Raven Simone, jaw hit the floor when I sat up there and found out that that woman had a white woman. I'm like, so you couldn't have found a black woman out there? I'm like, is it that tough out there that people who are into the exact same sex cannot? If a black female lesbian is out there, you mean to tell me that it's that tough that a black female lesbian cannot find another black female lesbian that is educated, that got money? Like, is that what I'm supposed to get at? And then, like I said, the same thing for Don Lemons. You mean to tell me that you, as an educated black dude, went to college, all this, you couldn't find an educated black dude? Huh? I'm like, this is like I said, it needs to be studied, man. It needs to be studied. But again, that's just my theory. I feel that certain people are handed other people in order to make sure that they are in control and to make sure that they are being monitored. Because, like I said, all of this is something. Like I say, even looking at the whole thing with Kanye, I'm looking at the exact same thing. People seeing things that happen with Kim Kardashian and a variety of things that have come out in the background. People saying that she had some secret tapes or information dealing with other celebrities, or her being an informant and all this other type of stuff. And then you got, what's the girl name? Sinceri or Censor, whatever, which is weird to have a name that says censored. Right? You're a black guy with a woman with the name censored. What's really getting censored here? What's really hush hush? What's not being told that should actually be told? Like I said, when you start to look at a lot of things, maybe it's just a conspiracy part of me, but again, when you start to look at a lot of these things a little bit differently, it looks weird. It looks weird. What is it? Contra said, TB said, F Blue Marvel. Hey, that's the way that they wrote it. And that's because he was a black dude, superhuman. He got the power of Superman. And they wanted to make sure to put somebody in place that was going to monitor him. Right? And different stuff of that nature. Like I said, this is what they tend to do. Like case in point, Tippy, if you happen to look at the zombie verse in Marvel, for whatever reason, out of all of Africa, Wakanda, and all this other type of stuff, during that point in time, somehow, some way, Wakanda became a sanctuary during that point. And you did have some Caucasian, people there, because, you got the defenses of Wakanda and all this other type of stuff. Somehow, some way, the beaten, battered, broken down, halfway there Black Panther T'Challa sitting on the throne had a white woman directly on his side. Like I said, they do this on purpose. I was having a conversation about this directly before, and if you happen to look at any of the media, if you go back to the early 2000s, because I was one of the kids, like I told you on several of the live streams, I was one of the kids that would always look at the commercials and I would try to count how many black people are there. Because at a certain point in time, they weren't really trying to put black people in commercials, right? But then once they started putting black people in commercials, let's say they put black men in commercials, they would always, I kid you not, if you look at the commercials now, every time you see a black man in a commercial, they make sure to have a white woman there. It don't even matter if they're a friend, a girlfriend, a fiance, a wife. There's always a white woman there. So they're trying to send the message that no matter where you are, if you're a black man, no matter where you are, there's a white woman there, and chances are she is interested. She is directly open to, you know, whatever it is that you are up for, like potential, you know, marriage, relationship, friendship, all this other type of stuff. They make sure not to put black women in those areas, or at least close to the black dude there. Especially if you look at the car commercials. What did they happen to do? They always got a black dude that is driving this brand new nice car and everything. Bow, white woman directly by his side. How does that happen? How does that happen? So you mean to tell me, because it'd have been different if they would have been like, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to pair up the black dude with like everybody out here, with every look of woman out here. I ain't never in my lifetime seen them try to pair up a black dude with an Indian woman. Maybe I might have missed that commercial around the United States, but I have not seen it. I have not seen them try to pair up a black dude with an Indian woman. I've not seen, I'm talking about a dark complected Indian woman. I've not seen them try to pair up a black dude with a dark complected Chinese woman, Japanese woman, dark complected South American woman from Brazil or whatnot or whatever. I ain't seen this. Right? Like I said, if they're trying to be equal, if they're trying to be fair, if they're trying to say something, but they make sure to always pair up black men with one type, and to leave black women directly out of there. Again, it's to send a message, and they do these messages. And this is why I talked to y'all about earlier in the live stream, where I was like, yo, the kids, they get bombarded with all these advertisements, psychological warfare, all this other type of stuff, yada, yada, yada. Right? But in reverse, when it deals with black women directly out here, what they happen to do, they will pair up black women with every other man out there but black men, to basically send a message from an advertisement and a psychological point to say to black women that, hey, all of these other men, you look very great with them. You look beautiful directly with them. You're strong, independent, and educated, and these men are right there by your side. They're not afraid. This, that, and the third. Oh, look, you're a black woman in a car. You're in the driver's seat. You're in the lead. Right? While he's in a passenger seat, look how comfortable that he is. Look how secure he is in his manhood. And oh, you're a black woman, you're independent, you're in the lead, and you got this man by you, and you're wearing your natural hair. A black man could never do. Like I said, this is the message that they're putting directly out there. This is why when you look online, you'll see a lot of black women sit up there and say that, oh, black men don't like black women with natural hair. Every other man out here is more accepting of a black woman in her natural than a black man. Because again, I'm going from the psychological standpoint of the advertisements that I have consumed over the years that I have been existing. This is what I have gotten from those advertisements, analyzing, going back through and just looking back and analyzing and asking myself, what is the real message that they're selling, other than this is a brand new Toyota or a Lexus or a BMW or a Mercedes-Benz? What is the real message that they're actually sending? Like I said, there's a lot of messages out here, and people ain't paying attention. It is crazy. Timothy says they're pushing a new message to black folks in New York. They can win races without the black vote. Yeah, they've been pushing stuff like that for a very long time. Even when I'm online and I look at a lot of stuff, you got a lot of immigrants sitting up there saying that, black people aren't needed, immigrants built this country. Black Americans built this country. We're not about to sit up there and try to rewrite history on that. Black Americans built this country. You can then after that say the things that you added, but Black Americans built this country because look at Wall Street. That's due to the fact of slavery. That's not because of the Irish, the Scottish, and all these other. That has nothing to do with you. Like I said before, they had human zoos. You weren't in those human zoos, but Black people were. Black Americans were. And that was in New York and a few other places across the United States. But you don't see those immigrants trying to talk about that. You don't see them try to bring that up. That's some crazy work. But people always want to talk about Black people need to learn history. A lot of immigrants need to learn history and learn how to keep their mouths closed and respect Black Americans. That's what a lot of people need to sit up there and do. Like I said, that's crazy. That's what. Matter of fact, I do got a video. I actually do have a video. Let me see if I can actually find it. Because it's talking this basically on this exact same topic that I'm referring to. At this moment in time, did I? Oh man, I gotta sit up there and I gotta look back to see if I actually have it in the background. Real quick. I might just have to pair them up. Let me see. Which one is that? Let me see. What is that one called? Because I think I should have two videos back to back right there. Which one? Trying to see what the number is. It's a little bit dark. I gotta wait for this to generate. Let me see. Okay, we got that 27, and that's number 4. So I should have that in the background for you guys because we're just going to take a look at this. 2704. Let me see. 2704. Let me see something real quick. Okay, so there we go. We got it. It's going to take a minute because.
Hi, I'm Sam.
All right, so this is going back to the Red Balloon Pop Show again. So let me just reiterate because I know how some people happen to get. This is not. I shouldn't have to. I'm not even about to put a disclaimer. I'm not even about to do it. Like I said, people will take it how they take it. Villain art. So let's just watch the video and see what happens here.
Name and age. Hi, I'm Sandy. I'm 33. Okay. And Sandy, why'd you end up popping your balloon? I ended up popping it because you're attractive. You know, you got it going on. But that comment about hair, I know your mama got short hair too. She's Black. At the end of the day, Black women, you don't know what to expect with our hair. We could wear it straight, we could wear it curly, and that was just like too much for me. So I don't got time for it. If you don't know, if you can't grow up from your roots, then you can't grow up with me. So that's how I feel. Okay.
Interesting.
Go ahead.
I mean, my mom's actually on my necklace. She doesn't have short hair for one.
It doesn't matter. It's about who you are as a.
Hold on. Wait. Okay. So I watched this before, but I was more so looking at her response. So the brother said that his mother is on his necklace, right? Because she was saying that, yo. Okay, so let me just reiterate. There was a girl at the very beginning. She has her hair like sort of like in a fro puff, type of deal, right? It's freely, it's out there. And he gave her compliments and whatnot, but he said, he liked women with longer hair. And again, this is his preference. He didn't say he doesn't love Black women or whatnot or whatever. His preference of a Black woman, he likes a Black woman with long hair. He specifically just told this woman, because after she done went on her little soft rant, she was like, yo, Black woman got hair, da-da-da, all that other type of stuff. He was like, actually, my mom's on my necklace and she doesn't have short hair. She was like, miss me with that. I don't even care. What? What just happened? So him having a preference because he loved his mom and he's used to seeing a woman, the first woman that he ever loved. He saw a woman with long hair. He was like, yo, that's the draw for me. So it's like with that's reflective. That reminds me of like my mom so much. I want a Black woman with long hair. Let's continue.
Brother, the person you don't make hair don't make your personality. You dig me? It's about who you are. If you confident with short hair, long hair, it doesn't matter. Because a lot of girls that do have long hair, the hairs be thin. I have a salon. when I was 16, I brought my mother a salon with my business that I do. So yeah, I have dealt with so many different type of hairs. Shout out to my mom, Captivated Styles in the building, Philly, we here. But what you said, it's just not for me. You need to really check on your ends before you talk about long or short hair, because a lot of girls with long hair be having no hair just because it's long is thin. So yeah, I'm sorry, I can't. Okay.
Woman sitting up here about that.
Sounds triggered.
It's not triggered. I'm just.
First of all, I didn't say the hairstyle she had was not good.
Yeah, so okay. I'm glad they froze it there. So the girl that you see in the polka dot dress, like I said, she looked cute. Like I said, her hair is right below her ears. The girl that you see on the right side of the screen at the very back, that was the girl that he made the comment to, where he was like, basically, you're beautiful and whatnot or whatever, but your hair is short. That's not really, for me. Again, the dude, I swear to you, the dude didn't say nothing disrespectful to her. He didn't say nothing disrespectful. And again, this is supposed to be a competition of which the women are supposed to present themselves so that they can get selected. But you got women that were here. If you listen to the beginning of the video, several women popped their balloon because one woman, the woman that you see here, she spoke and she's in this back and forth with this guy. But yeah, I thought it was a competition. But let's continue.
White girls with long hair. That's not right. You should never said that at all. As a black brother, you should have kept that as what it was. You should have just said, you're not just my type. But hair, it's a different. You can't talk about hair. If you want hair, go get what you want. If you want Becky with the long hair, go get what you want. Don't talk to black women up here about hair.
Okay. I need somebody to let me know, where did white women even come up in this conversation? Because she brought it up. She was like, because this is the whole thing that people ain't even paying attention to. The dude said that his mom has long hair. That's a black woman. She has long hair. The girl was like messing with that. You're still talking about black women, about their hair. Don't do that. You're a black man. At the end of the day, you don't know what we got to go through, all this other type of stuff, yada, yada, yada. If you want Becky with the good hair, if you want a white woman, just go do that. Don't sit up there and try to talk to us about it. Where did white women have to come in? Are you specifically saying that only as you as a black woman sitting here with braids, are you saying specifically that only white women can have long hair? Because that's what I'm getting from her rant. When she stated that, that's what I got. Because she literally said earlier that any black woman that you happen to see with long hair, their hair is actually thin. It's not healthy. This, that, and the third. So you're basically trying to say, as a person that owns a salon, that black women are, in a sense, close to almost incapable of having long hair naturally. So they got all of these, types of, short hair. They got these braids. They got these sew-ins and all this other type of stuff, because it's very hard for them to actually have this, because they will suffer from a lot of breakage and all this other type of stuff. But Becky, the white woman with the good hair, is the one that has the long hair and that's capable of actually doing it. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Let me continue.
That's just it. And I'm not triggered. Like I said, at the end of the day, your hair is nappy. Your hair is short. You should be happy where you came from. Period.
Can I talk, or are you gonna interrupt me again?
I don't want to hear.
So hold on. She said that his hair is I'm sorry, I can't get my words right. She said that his hair, right? Let me see if I can. We're at 159. Let me just rewind it back to see if I can get him in the picture, right? She said that his hair is nappy and short. The dude obviously got like a haircut and everything, and he made sure to have it sort of like in a twisted, type of state, a little bit, right? She said his hair is nappy and short, and he should be proud or happy where it is that he comes from. But he just stated that his mom has long hair. So why are we still talking about women with short hair, if that's not something that he himself, looking at his mom, specifically dealt with, right? But let's go back. Let's continue.
Long hair, go get what you want. Don't talk to black women up here about hair. That's just it. And I'm not triggered. Like I said, at the end of the day, your hair is nappy. Your hair is short. You should be happy where you came from. Period.
Can I talk, or are you gonna interrupt me again?
I don't want to hear what you have to say.
You
can say what you want to say, but don't talk about black people here. But
so
let's hear from him.
So again, Her hairstyle, there's nothing wrong with it. So it's my preference, right? So if I'm here to date, I'm here to find someone for me. So I'm not dating multiple people. You're not dating multiple people. So my comment to her has no sort of
But
significance on
I'm a
you.
black woman. If I want to wear my hair like hers one day, what you gonna say? Oh, I don't like your hair. I'm gonna go date Becky up the street.
Brother.
Follow along. Thank you.
I'll say this, at the end of the day, are you here to find a man or are you here to be
I'm not here to find you. I'm here to find someone that's gonna accept me, floss and all. And if you can't accept this young lady up
Sounds like you're here
here,
to find the sister code.
no,
So we can
I'm
move
actually,
forward.
He's right.
Women,
We can move forward.
We are here, and
We
there's
can
a
move
lot
forward.
of black women that's lined up in here. So you can't talk about hair. It's not about the length or the texture. Know what you say before you talk to black women. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
All I'm gonna say is, black men, I get it.
Brother, this is what I be sitting up here saying when you got people that just get emotional for like no reason and they're just all over the place. She didn't convey nothing. Like I said, I don't know what the black woman been through. She need a therapist. Like, this is about the second or the third time she didn't mention that he needs to be with a white woman. Where is that coming from? Like, well, I've never seen, like, nobody up here spoke about white women. She was the first one to basically direct that black man. Like, oh, don't be talking to us about her hair. Go with a white woman. What? He's here obviously seeking a black woman, and you're telling him to go chase after a white woman, brother. And then if I find this dude on the show and the lineup is full of women that are not black, I promise you there's going to be complaints. I didn't see not nearly one of those black women up there tell her like, yo, you need to relax. You need to calm down. You're going overboard. You're a little bit emotional right now. Even the other girl in the dress next to her. And I know even the girl next to her in the dress, she's doing like that stupid hand sign, basically saying to everyone like she's doing that. She's on point. Oh my God. Like he pointed it out earlier. They're in a competition, but they're doing this whole thing with this girl code. What's the use of being in a competition? How are you in a competition if you're going to be siding with other women? That's your competition. So you got your feelings and specifically made yourself single yet again, as you already are, because you wanted to try to take up for another woman in a competition. I'm gonna let this woman speak. I'm just gonna let this woman speak. I'm just gonna do this because the hamster, I think, has failed directly. I just falling off the wheel for me at this moment in time. Timmy said the one in the background that was waving, like she changed her mind. She might have. And the funniest thing is that I'm not sure fully in the totality how their conversation might have went. But I know because her hair is curled up in a fro, that if her hair was, I'm not saying like relaxed, but if she, straightened her hair out or whatnot or whatever, she actually has long hair, which is the craziest part. Like I know her hair is actually longer than what it seems. It just looks like that because it's in a more puffed and curled up form. But that girl that I showed y'all with the polka dot dress, she has like long hair. It's at least to like the back of her neck, to like the atlas bone, probably, at least, if not past that. Because I didn't see black women with hair like that before, and you'll be quite surprised to see how long the hair actually is. But like I said before, it'd be like that. But I'm going to let this woman speak.
I get it. I'm literally at work and just came in my car for a quick little break because it's like watching that clip was very triggering to me. And it's like, I understand that as black women, y'all stick by this very immature, like girls code thing, but y'all have to realize when people can literally look through your dramatics and the drama that comes with some of you black women. Her statement and his statement was both valid, but she took it too far. You dragged it too long. And then your insecurities about where you stand as a black woman started to peek out because there is plenty of black, beautiful women with long, beautiful, thick hair, but you instantly said, if you want Becky with the good hair, then go get Becky with the good hair. Where did that come from?
Yep.
Not so much.
Okay. And why not?
I'll say more so like the hair. So more so attracted to longer hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All of them started.
That's not right. You should never said that at all. As a black brother, you should have kept that as what it was. You should have just said, you know, you're not just my type. But hair, it's a different. You can't talk about hair. If you want hair, go get what you want. If you want Becky with the long hair, go get what you want. Don't talk to black women up here about hair. That's just it. And I'm not triggered.
Her hairstyle, there's nothing wrong with it. So it's my preference, right? So if I'm here to date, I'm here to find someone for me.
Today, your hair is nappy. Your hair is short. You should be happy where you came from. Period.
Can I talk or you gonna interrupt me again?
I don't want to hear what you have to say.
You still
but
gon-
you can say what you want to say,
Yeah.
but don't talk about black people.
I think for me, I'm triggered because I don't like seeing black women trying to silence black men. It's like black men are not allowed to state their preference. They're not allowed to have a voice. It's like black women try to just chop black men in half, and I don't like stuff like that. And once again, I don't know if that comes from having my dad around. I don't know if that comes from having 7 blood brothers that I was raised with. I don't know what the trigger be, but it be like it puts something in me to want to come light fire underneath you women, because it kind of be like, who do y'all be thinking y'all be talking to? Y'all be talking to black men like they kids, like they y'all kids or something. Y'all allowed to get on the stage and say, I want my man to be taller. Oh, I'm sorry, you're just not tall enough. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't like men with dreads. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't like light-skinned men. Y'all allowed to get up there and dissect and tear men down based off things they can't change. A man who was born 5'7", he can't change his height. But a woman, if she is in a shrinkage stage, which men don't know nothing about that man is allowed to say, I really don't care for that hairdo. Y'all say y'all don't care for certain things all the time. Y'all say, I don't like his profession. He's a truck driver. I don't like that. I don't like 9 to 5. Y'all give a straight line and list of things that y'all don't like. But the minute a man says, I would prefer a woman that's a little bit more fit, I would prefer a woman with a little bit different hairstyle, with a little less makeup, then y'all instantly take it as they're trying to down talk women. And then you talking about Becky with the good hair as if you automatically assume that he was going towards what? A non-black woman? That be your own insecurities poking out, man.
Bars.
Even gonna get on this fake girl code thing, because if y'all so girls, I say this all the time because I know it's gonna blow 90% of y'all out the water. Y'all swear y'all love women. Y'all swear this is a girls code, girls run the world thing. Y'all act like we all just stick together, but y'all can't seem to stick together when it comes time to keeping y'all legs closed when y'all having sex with them other women's men. Y'all be having sex with married men, but this is a girls world. Y'all be having sex with girls that y'all know got boyfriends and relationships, but this is a girls world. Y'all be knowing that baby mama and baby daddy still deal with each other, but this is supposed to be a girls code. Y'all be fake. So that's what be triggering me. I don't like how y'all be disrespecting black men. I don't like how y'all try to shut black men down. And I love how that black man carried himself, because that black man would have been considered a high value man. He makes good earnings for himself. I spotted some characteristics that I love, and I seen the fact that he was not willing to go back and forth with you due to him knowing how to choose his words and knowing how not to act off emotion, unlike yourself and unlike the other girls who don't got their own minds. Y'all don't know how to be yourselves. Y'all are pure followers. I'm gonna have to pop because he said this to her. I love black women down, but baby, what that man said to you really ain't got nothing to do with me, especially when it comes to preference, especially when he didn't disrespect her. It wasn't even that deep. It's just the fact that you feeling yourself. You thinking you somebody because, oh no, I'm not just an Instagram model. I am the model. I am a model. You wanted to get up there and flex your little weak career, because that's what y'all do. The minute women start making a little bit of money, the minute y'all start getting a little bit of funds to yourselves and a little bit of credentials, y'all start trying to buck up to man like, oh yeah, because I got this and I got that. It's like y'all feel like when y'all got some type of credential behind y'all name, it almost put like an S on your chest. And this is exactly why men say they don't want to date women in certain brackets, because it's not because they're intimidated by women that's successful. It's with success comes a nasty attitude, nasty spirit, and y'all just get to trying to be super like tough for no reason. It was never that deep, baby girl. You was up there battling your own insecurities, and you wanted to let people know what you was doing in your life, so you wanted that spotlight. But y'all killing me with the double standards.
Jesus.
But it's okay though, because black man, I got y'all. I respect y'all. Shout out to my daddy, and shout out to all 7 of my brothers, and shout out to all 68 of my nephews. I get it, y'all.
Woo! That woman was cooking. I saw some people saying that she was loud. Yo, she got every right to be loud. She is literally speaking. This is a woman who has brothers that she loves and respects. This is a woman that has a father directly in her life. So she is speaking from a point of love. She is speaking directly from the heart, because she understands as a woman that she's watching women online attack black men for their preferences. while at the same time, those said women that feel like they're being attacked by black men have their own preferences. So, like I said, she's in full totality to not take a breath, to sit up there and be yelling and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, I love that. I love that. I felt every single word of that. That woman she did not miss nothing. That woman, she is the chef of chefs. It was nothing but fire. She was even hitting the other topics that really didn't even have nothing to do with this in a sense, but it went on the whole thing of quote unquote the girls' code. And she had a valid point. She was like, hey, y'all going to sit up there and side with other women who are your competition and make yourself single because this girls' code, but then y'all the same exact women on this girls' code that's sleeping with other women's husbands and boyfriends. Y'all the same women on this girls' code that are sleeping with other women, knowing the fact that they got boyfriends. Woo! This woman was cooking. She had the blue flame on. Jesus. That woman was cooking. 100%. 100%. But like I said, shout out to this woman here. I've seen her every now and again on social media if people happen to clip or put her videos directly up there, and I happen to see her speaking. That's why I said before that I got major respect for the women out there that got platforms that speak up and talk, because like I said, if I were to sit up there, if I were to have said everything that she said, I would get crucified. There would be tons of problems. People would be saying stuff, yada yada yada, all this other type of stuff. But like I said, it's different when it comes directly from a woman, because the same thing, the things that people will be able to say to me, you can't apply that to her, because that's a black woman at the end of the day. She knows the struggle. She knows what black women go through and all this other. You can't sit up there and do the exact same thing. You can't sit up there and portray it to be like a whole victim thing. Is like, oh, black men sit up there. You can't do that. So like I said, this is why stuff like this is needed, because a lot of times men are able to defend themselves verbally, but it's not beneficial. The conversation, it goes nowhere. In a lot of instances, women 9 times out of 10 will get emotional when a guy is just verbally talking, not even raising his voice, which is the craziest part. Men can literally have a conversation and talk to a woman as a human being, and somehow women would get emotional. It's the craziest thing. Like I said, men understand this because we've been through it too many times. It doesn't matter if it's people we've been in relationships with. It doesn't matter if it's female family members. It doesn't matter if it's female friends. Somehow, some way, things like this have taken place, and it's just bewildering. It doesn't even make sense. And it's like, how did we get here? It's like, I didn't say anything wrong. It's like, all of this rah, 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 hollering and all this other type of stuff. So, like I said, big ups to the women out there that have these platforms, and, they're on the front lines, dealing with, that whole situation. But like I said, going back to this woman here, her whole attitude was problematic. Like I said, I don't know what, and she looks young. I want to say, looking at her, I want to say she should be like early to like mid-20s. Like I said, I don't know what guys that she attracts. Like I said, she looks great. I'm not sure what type of guys that she attracts or that she's interested in. She needs to check that with a therapist or two. Because the way that she just decided to like explode in the multitude of instances, she was like hyperventilating, trying to catch her breath, and she was about to like break out crying, and she had to bring up her mom and all. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, you are all over the place right now. Like, that woman right there, she's a whole red flag by herself. She's a whole red box. Shout out to red boxes. Those don't even exist anymore, really. But she's a whole red box. Not even a flag. She's a whole red box. I'm not even sure why she has a lot of unhealed things going on there. I'm not even sure why she's on a dating show. If you're a woman acting like that in public towards a man that you don't even know, I can only imagine her mouth and how it is that she will be acting in private. That's crazy. Like I said, that's dangerous. That woman is emotionally unstable, and I mean that with every fiber of my being. Like that woman is dangerous, dangerous, 100%, 100%. Um, but like I said, this woman here, her father did a very great job. And you can obviously tell that her father means a great deal to her, by the way that she spoke, by how highly she thinks of her father. And the same can be said directly for I think she said she got about like 7 brothers. The same can be said for her brothers. She loved each and every one of them in the full I'm pretty sure that she would be, if a call was made, she would be ready to sit up there and fight somebody over the men in her family because she loves them and values them and respects them that deep. Like I said, that type of love that she just put on display just with her words, you can't buy that. You can't you cannot buy that. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what the other girl problem was, and I feel as though that she doesn't even understand what her own problem is. To tell a black man to his face that you can go to a white woman, I can't even disrespectful. That's not even I can't even. I'm trying to just. I can't even. My mind is blank. I can't even give you a word, and I feel like disrespectful is not even the word to even describe that. Like you're telling a brother here who has obviously made something of himself, who wants to be with a black woman, that you as a black woman are telling him that he just needs to go to a white woman. That is wild. Like I'm really trying to sit here and think because I've watched a lot of these shows. I'm trying to just really remember when was the last time that I've actually. I'm trying to figure out when was the last time I ever seen a black dude do that to a black woman. Tell her like, "Yo, we really ain't your type here. You need to go, go for Bradley." I'm trying to really figure out when have I seen something like that. I'm hard pressed to even bring anything up because I don't really have anything. Like I said, that woman, she got man, brother. Like I said, if there's like a sisterhood out here, y'all need to check on that woman. Y'all pay for therapy for her. Pay for therapy for her. Let me tell you. Lord. Sham said the other girl problem was her edges were falling out, which made her forehead bigger. Looking at her braids, her hair is breaking off. So she and her feelings about it and lashes out. I mean, that's you know what, Sham. The funniest thing is I didn't actually look at her forehead up until now, and I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But you know what? I'm a little bit biased. I don't mind women who got foreheads. I don't. I'm a little bit biased. Um, because I'm the type of person that like to give forehead kisses to women. So that's so I guess I'm a little bit biased directly on it. Now I'm not sitting up here saying that you know somebody might have like a predator forehead. That's a whole different type of thing. That's a whole different type of thing, or an alien type of forehead. That's a whole different type of thing. Um, but yeah, like I said, I guess I'm indifferent when it comes to that. Like I said before, I'm the type of person where it's like imperfections and stuff like that. It's like for me that's cute. I'm not really for the whole thing of somebody looking perfect because that doesn't exist. Nothing is perfect because whatever makeup that you're wearing right now, it'll come off at a certain point in time. Like you might be, directly in a hospital or something. You ain't gonna be putting on that makeup, right? So it's like the natural you is gonna be there, and it's gonna be imperfections. So like I said, for me, I imperfections. I find what was it the whole quote that I said? What was it? Perfection in imperfections or something like that. I forgot. It was something that I've said or mentioned before. So like I said, when I look at a lot of these lineups where I see a lot of these women directly up there trying to look as perfect as can be, I'm like, everything is fake. I'm like, I can't trust nothing. Cause I'm like, I'm pretty sure that somebody got some bad skin somewhere. Somebody has, a mole. It might be like a skin tag. Somebody's hairline might be to like the center of their head or something. Like I said before, the imperfections. That's the thing that's going to be there forever. All of this people putting on makeup and trying to look perfect, that ain't gonna last. That's not gonna last at all. But everybody different. Everybody really, Gail. That's the that's what we're doing. How is Gail? I didn't even say anything wrong. That is crazy. Billy said, you the guy on the best man forehead kisses bandit. I mean, if the person is short, yeah. I mean, I thought that was normal. Is that not normal? Is that not normal if you have a significant other that is short that you would give them like forehead kiss? Like that's that's not cute. Am I wrong? I thought the math was mathing on my end. I don't know. Hey, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Gail sitting up here blowing up on me in the comment section. Sham was like, "LOL." Gail said you run. What was it? Miguel said, "I guess that's supposed to be like no one is perfect. You will stay single." I I think I get what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying. Dark Titan said 100% exactly. Sham said, "LOL." The imperfections, um, not a problem. It's her insecurity over her hair falling out that got her lashing out, and that's the problem, right? Um, Timothy said, "Kiss them on the forehead and then check your reflection." but see, Tim, my main thing is, a lot of the women that I've known, they did not wear makeup, and if they did, it was very little. It was never anything to the extent of like, stuff is rubbing off. I got like foundation or whatnot, on my face or stuff like that. So that wasn't never like the thing. So yeah, what was it? Love the Soul said definitely normal. Billy said I'm not saying it's bad. Timothy said you're doing enough math choosing which side of the forehead you're going to. Well, technically, like I said, I'm even, so it's the center. So yeah. Tibby said, "Why ignoring your people on the other account? You slacking Seji with love and respect." I'm not, Tippy. I'm on StreamYard, so everything is all on one thing for me, so I can read every comment. Gail said, "We like what we like." Sham said, "LOL." What did you say to him, Tippy? Because he be ignoring the internet wise. And now we got Sham sitting up here just like adding in the stuff, just making it worse. Jay said, "This woman rules my dreams." Somebody said, "Stop pausing the video." I mean, it be like that. I just so happened to pause the video when I want to impart my wisdom, directly in the video. So that happens. But again, that's a live stream. That's how this, normally works. Also, I want to give a shout out to because we got a super sticker that popped up. I think I got everybody earlier. Yeah. On often, I think that is I was about to say gamer tag. Shout out for the two. I'm just gonna round it up. Shout out for the $2 dono. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Oddly enough, the countdown for that one is actually pretty long, which is weird. I'm trying to figure out why is that countdown so long on that one, because normally and it's showing up as red. I don't know. Might have to look that up. Timothy said Frieza's third form. Looking women said his preference. That's crazy. That's diabolical work. It's crazy work. DSA1 said, "Yo, hey, what is up? What is up? What is up?" Tippy said, "Okay, my bad, sir." You know this, Tippy. You know this is how it goes. You know, I got every what's the name directly up there. I mean, we do have the option in the background to put your comments up there to actually show the live stream comments. But again, you got a lot of people that ruin good things. So, you know, you got a lot of people out here that'll start, you know, writing stuff in the comment section, this, that, and the third. So, you know, can't really do that the way that I would like to, you know. Dark Titan says she definitely got some hair extensions from India. That was corpse hair that gave her brain worms, aka maggots. Billie Jean said Frieza. Yeah, be like that. Lord Frieza. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. I do actually have a video for you guys that I will have uploaded after this live stream. I'm going to have to, you know, download it and then post it directly up there and wait a few minutes for it to go through. But I do have a video coming directly up for you guys if you would, you know, care to partake in that video. It will have to do with the conversation dealing with ICE, immigration, you know, things of that sort. Story's a little bit more diabolical. Also, shout out, I'm not sure, I think I might have saw the name earlier. Shout out also to Miss Anderson. I think I did see her directly up there. She's probably at work, or at least she should be at this moment in time, because it is a Friday. But yeah, much love, respect, and appreciates to any and all people who were currently here at this moment in time on this live stream. Shout out to any and all who have pulled through to give donations to the channel support. Shout out to any and all of my channel members at this moment in time. Much love to all of you guys. What Sham say? Sham said it's almost to season 9 in Diablo. They nerfing Bloodwave. I told you they would. I was hitting stuff for like 20 billion in damage at level 130. Paragon, I'm level 230 now and hitting for 40 billion. Oh yeah. Yeah. But like I said, the new stuff that they got coming for the new season of Diablo is going to be pretty nice with the spells and everything. So yeah, I'll be there. But also I got to divide my time in between Mecha Break, which is coming out, which I've been waiting for to play this game for a while. So, and it is a free to play game, but it is a shooter. So I'm not sure how you're going to like that game, Shem. But I'm going to tell you right now, depending on what you got your graphics set to, your computer will probably sound like a jet engine. So yeah, there's that as well. Tippy says Seiji gaming stream tonight on this lovely Friday. I am not sure. I mean, I do have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that I do got. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to sit up there and say if I will or won't, but you know, Tippy said gaming stream went. And the funny thing in Tippy is that Sham was talking about you in a previous live stream. She was basically filling in your role because that's what you would normally start saying towards the end of the live stream. Sham said, yeah, I might do another necro. Billy said, I'm happy I caught alive by everyone. Y'all made my day. Hey, much appreciation. We are happy that we were able to do that and that you had fun during the live stream. Let me see. On somebody said, Will Clinton said before y'all leave, you said only logical just did a video on the short hair girl and her preference is white men. What? Hold on, wait. Wait, are you? Let me go back real quick. Oh, let me see if I could. Are you talking about the one at the front? You got it. Hold on. Let me just type it. Hold on. Nah. Let me see. What did you say the YouTuber's name was? Only logical. Hold on. Let me just. I gotta look this up now. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Let me look this up. Let me look this up. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Hold on. I'm just trying to speed this up real quick. Brother, what? Let me can I even sit up there and can I screencast this? Because this is crazy. You gotta be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. You cannot be, brother. What? So okay, so before we even end the stream, so the one the light one in the background that you see that's smiling, the one that was waving earlier. Where's the screen share? Um, let me see, make sure. Right, screen share, also share audio. Hopefully y'all can actually hear the audio. Right. So let's just go over this real quick. Give a shout out to what is this? Only Logical. If y'all want to, subscribe to him, y'all are free to sit up there and do that. Shout out to Only Logical. So let's just hear this real quick.
Context real quick. If you saw the full episode, you see that it was me who popped on him.
Okay, so we did get some pop balloons. Let's go.
And when I was asked why I popped, I say initial attraction. For me, it's not that I'm promiscuous. I think just the initial attraction is the biggest thing. Yeah. And then Arlette asks him, now, is she your type? He says, no, the hair, I prefer longer hair.
And now is she someone that's your type?
Not so much.
And why not?
I'll say more so like the hair. So more so attracted to longer hair. Okay. Yeah.
Fair enough. When he said, no, I'm not his type, what went through my head was, okay, what's he going to say? What's going to be the why? Of course, like even going into the show, I had kind of thought, what are they going to call me out for? Whatever you want to call it, call me out for. What are they going to say is the reason that I'm not their type? And when he said the hair, I prefer longer hair, when all that was done with, I remember like, okay, that wasn't so bad. Other people's words don't hurt me, like they would have when I was younger. Because let's be honest, growing up with super curly type 4C hair, it was a journey. And then we get to Sandy and she, starts going at him. And I remember in that moment, I was like, okay, this is not about me. Everything she's saying is not specifically about me. I never felt like this woman or any of the women were specifically standing up for me. This was, in my mind, undoubtedly a much larger thing, Growing up, I used to straighten my hair all the time. I remember like in middle school swimming, I would try to get out of swimming as much as possible because I didn't want my straightened hair to get curly again. And when I was forced to go in the pool after swimming, I would stay in the locker room and I would skip lunch to straighten my hair. I remember it would always look terrible, but I would even skip class to be in there straightening my hair. So that's just one example. And I remember the one time that I got the confidence to wear my hair out, because every single day I either wore my hair straightened or in a ponytail. If it was curly, it was in a ponytail or pigtails 100% of the time. I never wore it without that. I never wore it like this. So there was a day when I had the confidence, I'm going to say I was in 8th grade, to wear my hair like this, just natural. And as soon as I walked in the door, I probably hadn't even been in the school for 5 minutes. And this girl says like, "Oh my gosh, your hair is crazy." I headed to the girls' locker room and put my hair in a ponytail and never wore it out again. Then I go back to Minnesota. My mom cuts my hair, like basically it was a pixie cut. She cut it like all off because it was all dead. And my boyfriend at the time hated it. Like he thought it looked like a boy. And that was another time when I had to just kind of work through things. And that probably made the comment the guy in the blue jacket made even less of a big deal for me. Like I've had it where I had a boyfriend who like basically straight up told me he was no longer attracted to me because my hair was short. I will say I don't think it was fair for this man to get all that heat, because really it wasn't. I don't think it was about him. I think it was about just society and like all the past stuff that has been there surrounding Black women's hair. So in Mexico City, there are 4 men that I went on dates with. So 2 are Mexican, and neither of them grew up in Mexico City, but nearby. And then 1 is Italian and 1 is Lebanese. So a nice little mix in there. And with all 4 of them, I went on more than 1 date with. 3 of them I hope to see again one day. There's only 1 of them that I probably won't hang out with again, but things ended nicely. You know, I think just our ways of communicating were different. Mixed. So with being mixed, for me, I 100% can relate to not feeling Black enough for the Black people and not being white enough for the white people. Like I really don't. I identify as being mixed. That identity suits me the most, you know? And I was talking to my therapist and I told her, like, I just feel like I fit in more in Mexico City than I do in Austin. So Minnesota, where I'm from, I really didn't fit in. Austin, I felt like, wow, I fit in here so much more than Minnesota. And that's why I moved here. And then once I went to Mexico City, I was like, whoa, I feel like I fit in here more than I fit in Austin. And so talking to my therapist, I was like, we're thinking, why would that possibly be? And one thing that did come to mind is like, well, a lot of Mexican people are mixed as well, you know, with having some sort of indigenous background and Spanish. So yeah, indigenous and European. And for me, I have the European background from my mom, which is German and Irish. And then my dad is from Liberia, African. So it's like, maybe
German and Irish.
I think that could be a little bit
That
of
is
it.
African.
Like, hey y'all. Okay, I have a big update. I'm going on a first Bumble date today. I have not been on a dating app date since my breakup. So it has been like years since I've been on a dating app date. So why did I feel confident to go on this date? So I'll give you a few details. He is from Denmark and he's only here for 3 more weeks.
All right, that's all I need to hear. She said the dude is from Denmark. That's all I needed. That is all that. And you know the craziest part is, you know what? Normally I would have, and again, this I didn't watch the full totality of Only Logical's video. Didn't watch the whole. I just skimmed through it. Right. Again, shout out to Only Logical. What I will sit up there and say is this is the first time that I've ever watched a divester talk, and I was not offended. Nor did she say anything negative, at least at this moment, about Black men. She has her preference. She even within her own words was defending the Black guy. Was like, yo, she was like, I don't even know why, the model was even going off on him. Like, it wasn't even about defending her. She specifically said it. She was like, none of those Black women up there were specifically trying to defend me. This was about something completely different. And like I said, she didn't try to jump on the bandwagon. She didn't try to act extra. None of that. It was just, okay, that's cool. Like I said, how that guy and her had their whole conversation, it was completely normal. It was the other ones up there that made it more than what it actually was. And that was the craziest part. The divester, the woman who stated that she was literally in South America dating everybody that was non-Black, including her boyfriend, who was more than likely non-Black, and then the Bumble date that she got, non-Black. She was the one basically, in a sense, defending the Black dude. I never in all of my life would have thought that I would actually see this come from a woman that dates non-black men. Wow. 2025 has a whole bunch of tricks up his sleeve. Let me tell you, there's a lot of things that are not on a bingo card, and I can tell you, I might have 9,999 bingo cards. This right here was not one of them. Out of all of, like I said, out of all of the women I have showcased on this platform, this is the first time I've ever seen this. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Somebody said indigenous by blood. Where is your family from? Who are you talking to? Who specifically are you talking about? Are you talking about the woman that is on the screen, or I'm a little bit confused. Will says she probably don't even like dark women. Shem said, yeah, but the internet datings be using the same actors and actresses over and over again, like the online bachelor. Yeah, it'd be like that. Shem said, I bet you one of those women in the lineup don't even like men. I mean, that is a possibility. I've seen women up there that stated that they were just up there for clout, just to, get more looks at their social media or whatnot or whatever. So, like I said, for, the women out there, it is a giant game on what it is that they're specifically able to get directly out of the situation. So, yeah, Tippy said, off topic, if biracials are light skinned, then what are black people with two black parents happen to be like complected? I'm confused. Sham says she ain't getting none of those white jeans in her hair. Emmanuel said you feel comfortable there. It doesn't matter if Mexicans are mixed with anything. That's where you find comfort. I'm a little bit confused on that. Indigenous said, why you got to ask about backgrounds? I'm a little bit, I'm trying to figure out where in the video, where in the live stream is this person even at this moment in time. Tippy said, LOL, yeah, her parents, mainly her black dad, hoping for 3A. No, her dad is African. Her dad is from Liberia. Straight African. Straight African. Her mother is European. I think she said like German and Irish, Dutch, or something like something European. Right? So she is really mixed heritage. George said, I'm getting Candace Owens vibes from her. Evade. Indigenous said, it makes sense now. Yeah, and the craziest part is like her boyfriend, who was more than likely white, because I've not really seen white dudes with women that got short hair. White dudes are not known for dating women with short hair, especially white women. They are not known for doing that. They are the types where it's like you better have some type of hair in order for them to consider you attractive. But the funniest thing is when white dudes got a preference in how they want their women's hair to be or to look, ain't nobody batting an eye. Women will literally run out and do whatever it is in order to, be within that sight of considered to be attractive. If black men even have a little preference on, even if it's like hair color, you're getting crucified. You are getting burned at the stake. It's a witch. Like it's over for you. It is over. Sham said high yellow. Give them said Tippy, they're still light skinned. Indigenous said Lamo had 2 comments. I said that's why I started asking people their background, like where your parents from. Tippy said, just call me cornbread. Give them said Haley Berry is mulatto and still birth non-white passing kids. I mean, that's because her and DDG are close to the same complexion, so that's how that was gonna work out. Now, oddly enough, the funniest thing is the child could actually come out or later on start to appear darker than the parents. It's funny how kids work. It's pretty funny. D Money said every time. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Two things happened. The woman technically defended the black guy. I wish she would have said something just during that time, because that would have been great to diffuse that whole situation, because that just looked bad. Like the optics on that, horrible optics, because she was silent. It basically made it seem like every other black woman up there just agreed with, I mean, technically they did because they popped the balloon. But again, the optics looks terrible. It just looked like everybody in unison, all the black women up there in unison agreed with what the one main black woman was saying, and they just all went with it. All for one, one for all, like Three Musketeers or something. Like this is crazy. You would have thought that this was My Hero Academia. You thought you was dealing with All Might real quick. Like that woman was just going in for no reason and going in on the wrong guy. That's crazy. But I'll promise you this: the one girl that was talking with the braids, she would never pour all of that energy if a white dude said the same thing. Because I literally have a video up there where a white dude said that black women are not his preference and he does not find black women attractive. And the black girls up there was like, oh, but why? Like, have you ever like given it a try? Have you ever, thought about it? I'm like, whoa. I'm like, he literally just told you to your face that you ain't attractive. And you're just like, why not? Is there anything I can do to change your mind? I'm like, oh, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. But like I said, it'd be like that, man. Glory to the winner. Like I said, ain't no hate in my blood. Whoever out here winning is whoever is out here winning. Let me tell you. Deborah Scott said no, they could see something was wrong with her. Wait, what did I say earlier? Did I say Halle Berry or did I say Haley Berry? I probably did combine it because the names are so similar and close. Look here, Gil. You got to work with me. It's tough out here in these streets. It's tough. Tippy says, so do two light skin with two black parents have less melanin or more melanin than a birate? I guess that would depend. I guess that's a very good question, Tippy, but I guess it would depend though. Carl said, oh shoot, I thought I said you ended the live. Come back like I forgot my wallet. D Money said then she tried to plug her business in the middle of shame. Yeah, like I said, it was all about clout. So D Money, like this is the thing, like I told people before, the main way for people to get some type of like success or to profit off of something, have a black man as a foundation, have him down there as a negative, and then you propel yourself as the opposite, which is going to be the positive. So that's how that works. Like I said, all of the things that girl was doing, it was calculated, because the things that she was saying didn't make no type of sense at all. Like it was crazy, 100% crazy. But it'd be like that. It'd be like that though. Nothing you can do about it. Love said, wow. Yeah, let me tell you. And then that's the crazy part though. I'm just trying to figure out, I'm like, yo, if you primarily like men of other races, again, that's cool. That, do you. Why are you in a lineup where you got a black dude that is seeking a black woman? Like, I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. And I'm pretty sure, just like as she stated, her mother is the one that raised her, because her mother cut off her hair and gave her a pixie cut. I've heard that before by other biracial women directly out here. I even got a video of a biracial girl in the UK where her white mother is taking her to get her hair done at a white salon, and they're like, yeah, we don't know what to do, whatnot or whatever, so work your magic. And their whole main thing is like, they're just going to cut off her hair. And I'm like, this is why you cannot have everybody working with black hair, because they're not built to work with it. They don't have the understandings. The only thing that they know is like, oh, well, I don't know what to do with it either. So we're just going to cut it and we're just going to see what we're going to, do with it. That's crazy. That is crazy work. 100%. Right. The other thing that was stated, somebody said genes can delay the expression over generations. You can have a darker child than the parents if one of the parents had darker parents / grandparents. Yeah, things can be passed down later. Deborah said that's why they didn't say anything when she was going off on a guy. Yeah. He said vice versa. Biracial kids, 50% chance of the kids being light skinned, but I've seen biracial kids stay black or be fully white and they have 25%. Okay. Tiffany said, depending on what, I have 2 black parents. Darn it. Grandparents are black. Give them said it's not an albino with 2 unambiguous black people can produce pink, blue-eyed children. That's just an explanation to hide the fact that the black female has been cheating on the black man. I mean, I guess even though this woman's father is African, but okay. Sham said, yeah, it's so sad that white women be lazy with biracial children. Yeah. Tibby said, black, I've seen pictures in a photo album my grandmother showed me a long time ago. D Money said they like to have mixed kids for the aesthetics. Sham said the hair can't defy gravity, so sure they get lazy because they can just they can just comb it. Yeah. My hair be defying gravity, and the style capacity is endless. Bars. SG said, oh, random troll. Sham said my favorite style is when I spray my fro different colors and then add glitter to it, though it takes a while to get the glitter out. Man, you adding glitter to hair, that's never coming out. You're going to see glitter 2 years, 3 years from now. Like glitter, I don't know what that's made out of, but it stays. Glitter just 100% stays. Right. But anyways, that is pretty much what is it? Tippy said, oh no, I'm sorry to hear. That's how you feel. Don't worry, you're still with us. Wait, I'm a little bit confused. I don't know who Tippy talking about. But anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for the live stream. We're supposed to end this a while ago, but somebody had brought up that tidbit of information. Shout out to who brought that, because my mind is all over the place right now. Shout out to whoever brought up the information. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Gail said, what you know about glitter sedging? Well, I know back in the day, right? Because I gotta say that back in the horse buggy days, like the kids like to say, girls would have like the glitter lip gloss, the clear lip gloss with the glitter directly on it. Yeah, that stuff was just there. It was just there. Sham said, LOL says you, what did you do to Gail? You stay in trouble today. I ain't do nothing. It just be Gail. This was it. Yeah, I don't even know what that dude just sitting up there. Like I said, if you got a preference, that is what it is. I'm not sure why you telling me that, but you got that. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the stream. Hopefully, people liked the stream, had a time, enjoyed it. If you missed out on anything, you can just so happen to roll back to the stream and and different things of that nature, and pick apart what it is that you like. Depending on what takes place, you may see a shorter version of the live being showcased, pulled directly up there, or I just make a solo video of some of the stuff here. But again, I will have a video uploaded for you guys after I do a little bit of work after this live stream, and yeah, you're free to enjoy that. Hopefully the notifications go out. But again, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody that came directly by. Shout out to anybody who was a member, who's part of the Patreon. Shout out to anybody who helped the Cash App. Shout out to anybody who donated during the live stream and the live chat. Love you guys a lot. Appreciate you guys a lot. And I will catch you guys in the next live stream. Peace out.